Hello students, welcome to the Grand Test 5 paper solutions of physics from your All India Test series. I'm Aniruddha, your physics faculty here at Infinity Learn, here to take you through the entire paper solutions, going step by step through each of the sums. So let's start with it. First question says that a particle of mass m is executing oscillations about an origin on the x-axis. Its potential energy ux is k modulus of x cubed, where k is a positive constant. If the amplitude of oscillation is a, then its time period is. Now there's one way of going about this. You could use this potential energy to find the force and then try to relate it with the angular frequency and so on, but that's a long process. Since the options are only given as some relation with respect to the amplitude, we can use dimensional analysis over here. So how do we proceed with that? First up, we need the dimensions of k. What can we do for that? From this equation, we can represent it in its dimensional form as the dimensions of u would be the dimensions of k into the dimensions of x cube. Right? The modulus sign doesn't really play a role. Now the dimensions of u is the energy, the dimensions of that are ml2 t minus 2. The dimensions of k are what we need to find. And x cube, since x is a unit of displacement, x cube is just going to give you L cube. From there on, you can get the dimensions of k as you bring the L cube down, so L square by L cube gives you L to the power minus 1. Rest of it remains as is, so ml to the power minus 1, t minus 2. So we've got the dimensions of k. Next, we need the time period. Now the time period can depend on three things. It can depend on this k, like for instance, if it's a spring mass system, k would have been the spring constant. So it can depend on k, it can depend on the mass m because that's provided, and it can depend on the amplitude. So we represent the time period t as being equal to mass to the power a into k to the power b into your amplitude a to the power c. I've used capital K, small k, they all mean the same thing. So just to stay a bit consistent with things, so m to the power a, k to the power b, and a to the power c. So in its dimensional form, that would be the dimensions of t are just the dimensions of time, m to the power a, because dimensions of mass are just, mass is the fundamental quantity. K we just got, that would be m L minus 1 t minus 2 to the power b, and a is the amplitude. Again, amplitude is a distance, so it would be L to the power c. So from there on, we can get this as t is equal to m to the power a plus b, because m to the power a, and from here you get m to the power b, L to the power minus b, because L to the power minus 1 into b, so L to the power minus b, plus c, because that comes in from here, and on t you have t to the power minus 2b, and that is equal to t. Now first thing we can equate is this, the power of t, because from there we see here we have t to the power 1, here we have t to the power minus b. So we get minus 2b is equal to 1, or b is equal to minus half, right? And now that we have got b, now we can look at L. With regards to L, we have, okay, let's do it here itself. With regards to L, we have minus b plus c as being equal to 0, because there is no L term over here, so this side you have L to the power 0. So we equate that, so c is equal to b, or c is equal to minus half, which means if you look at this relation, then your t is proportional to a to the power c, which is a to the power minus half, which means 1 by root a, so your correct option is option 1 here. So like I said, dimensional analysis is a quicker way to go about this. It might seem like a lot, but if you proceed elsewhere, then you might also run into lots of problems, because it's given as kx cube, not the generic kx squared that we know it to be. Next one, it says the time taken by the projectile to reach from a to b is t, then the distance AB is equal to, so from here we have to go till here. Now see, the particle is launched at a speed u at an angle of 60 degree, which means its horizontal velocity uh is equal to u cos 60, which is just equal to u by 2, because cos 60 is half. Now that horizontal speed is maintained. There is no change in the horizontal speed in projectile. We know that. Now it takes time t to go from A to B, which means during this time t, this horizontal speed is acting, and that is increasing the displacement in the x direction. So this distance here is just going to be, that is the x coordinate, is just going to be UH, which remains constant, into the time t, which is just UT by 2. Okay, we have got this. Now you see, in this right angle triangle over here, we have the base, we need the hypotenuse, we need AB. AB is just the hypotenuse, we have the base, we have the angle as 30 degree, which means the hypotenuse AB is just equal to the base divided by cos of 30 degree. So x is equal to UT by 2, and cos of 30 is root 3 by 2, root 3 by 2, 2's cancel out. You have AB is equal to UT by root 3, so your correct option is option 1 over here. Let's move ahead. This one says a lift of total mass m is raised by cables from rest to through a height h. The greatest tension which the cables can safely bear is nmg. The maximum speed of lift during its journey if the ascent is to be made in shortest time. Now at first glance you might feel that the lift should keep on accelerating till it reaches the top, and that would be the shortest time. However, that's not it, because the lift also needs to stop. Now the cable is pulling it up, right? It pulls it up to a certain height, and it gains a certain speed at that time. After that, the cables need to stop pulling, because now the force of gravity is the only acceleration acting downwards. That has to slow it down. That has to slow it down till it eventually reaches the height, and at the height it should stop. So the speed should end there. The speed should become 0 over there. So that is why it's very important that you speed it up. You don't speed it up throughout, because then it's going to overshoot. So you have to speed it up to a certain point, then you have to let it go and let the acceleration due to gravity eventually slow it down to 0 at the point where you want it to. So first up, let's understand what can be the maximum acceleration with which you can lift it up. So if I just draw a basic free body diagram of the lift, you have the tension from the cables acting upwards, you have the force of gravity mg acting downwards, and you have the acceleration on this side, which means with regards to this, we get T minus mg is equal to ma. Now this T can have the maximum value as it's given here as n capital Mg. So okay, we are dealing with capital M. Let's keep this capital M just to make things consistent. This is capital M, this is also capital M. So T is equal to n capital Mg, so we can take capital Mg common, and we have n minus 1 is equal to ma. So A is just equal to n minus 1 into g. This is the maximum acceleration with which it can be taken up. And let's assume that it goes up to a height s1. It rises, this acceleration acts up till it reaches the height s1. So what would be the speed at that height? That speed would be given by v is equal to 2a s1, where v is equal to 2 into n minus 1 g into s1. Right? Now this v is the maximum speed. Why? Because it's accelerated up to that point. Beyond that, the acceleration stops acting, which means now the gravity is just going to slow it down. So that speed is the maximum speed which is given here. But we can't do anything with this because s1 we don't know yet. Right? Now this is the acceleration. It reached till here. Now the remainder of the part, it has to be slowed down by gravity. So in that part, let's box it out. In that part, you have only gravity acting. So you're again, my bad, this is going to be v square, my bad. This comes from the relation v square equal to u square plus 2as. Okay, we have taken it from there. Same relation we can apply for the remainder of the path where it has to travel a distance s2. So s2 is the distance it takes to completely come to a stop again. So over there, you'll again have a similar relation. V square, you'll have this is 2g and s2. G because only gravity acts, only the acceleration due to gravity acts here. So from here we can actually get out s1 and s2, right? Why do we need s1 and s2? Because it has to rise to a maximum height h, which means H has to be equal to S1 plus S2. Now you can get out S1 and S2 from here. You would have H is equal to S1 would be V square by 2n minus 1 G, and S2 would be equal to V square by 2G, right? So from here on it's just calculation beyond this. We can take this to H is equal to V square. We can cross multiply this here. 2n minus 1 G is equal to V square plus n minus 1 V square. So we need V. Remember, that was the maximum speed. That is what has been asked here, the maximum speed. So V from here on we get, you have 1 plus n minus 1. So this will just give you nV square, right? This part will just give you nV square. You can bring the n down over here, and then you would get V is equal to root over of 2n minus 1 GH divided by n. Do we have something like that here? 2n minus 1 GH divided by n. So it would be option 4 over here. Next question, a small particle mass m released from rest from point A inside a smooth hemispherical bowl as shown. The ratio x of magnitude of centripetal and the normal reaction force over here. So first up, this angle here is theta. Now when it comes from here till here, the height difference, this is the height difference, right? And this height difference is going to be equal to r sine theta. You can tell that because this length is r. So that height difference is going to be r sine theta. And during that decrease in height, that drop in potential energy will give it its velocity, right? So let's do that here. We have mv square is going to be equal to mg r sine theta. mgh, h is that r sine theta. So we'll just keep mv square for now. So mv square is equal to 2mgr sine theta. Why do we keep it as mv square by mv square and not get v? Because we need the centrifugal force. Remember, the centrifugal force is going to act in this direction, Fc, right? And that Fc is equal to mv square by r. So it's mv square we already have, so centrifugal force is just going to be 2mg sine of theta. Now at this point, you have the centrifugal force acting in this direction, you have the normal reaction force acting in this direction, and you also have the acceleration due to the gravitational force acting downwards. And this, since we have to equate in this line, because we need this n, we've already got Fc, we need this n. So we have to equate along this line. And in that line, this angle is theta again. This angle is theta, which means the component of mg in the direction of Fc is going to be mg sine theta. So now you equate the forces. Now by equating the forces, you're going to get, let's do it here itself, you're going to get n. On that direction you just have n, and on this direction you have Fc plus mg sine theta, right? Now Fc is already 2mg sine theta, which means n becomes equal to 3mg sine theta. Now the question asks us to find the ratio of centripetal force to the centrifugal force. So centripetal force is this Fc itself, right? Centripetal almost going to be the same. So Fc and n we have to take the ratio of. So if you take Fc by n, you see it's 2mg sine theta, it is 3mg sine theta, which means your Fc by n is equal to 2 by 3, because the mg sine thetas cancel out, which means you have a constant value for this, hence it's going to be option 1, because it maintains that constant value throughout. As you change theta, you can change theta, but there is no dependence of Fc by n on theta, so it maintains the constant value throughout. So it's option 1. Next, a force acting on a body depends on its displacement as F proportional to s to the power minus 1 by 3. The power delivered by F will depend on displacement as. So here again, we have F proportional to S to the power 1 by 3. S is the displacement. So we write it, we introduce a proportionality constant C. So F is equal to C S to the power minus 1 by 3. Right? C S to the power minus 1 by 3, which means we can get the acceleration out. The acceleration would be C by M S to the power minus 1 by 3. Now from here on, this acceleration can give us the velocity. Why do we need the velocity? Because power is just force into velocity. So we need to find the velocity, but if you put in dv dt, A is dv dt, then you won't be able to calculate. Why? Because on this side you have displacement, not time. So you need a relation for velocity which has the displacement part in there. And that relation is that A is equal to v dv ds, which is equal to C by M S to the power minus 1 3. We use this relation because it has S, displacement. Send ds over to the other side and integrate. So that will give you v square by 2, v dv will give you v square by 2. On that side, C by M comes out. Remember, I've put ds on the other side and integrated. Integration of S to the power minus 1 by 3 will give me S to the power 2 by 3 divided by 2 by 3 over here. Okay, so that gives me v square by 2, 2 cancels out. You get v is equal to, now again over here these are all constants, C, M, 3, all of these are constants. At this point you can ignore the constant because we only want the final proportionality, which means v is proportional to S to the power 1 by 3. That's all that matters. Because it's v square was proportional to S to the power 2 by 3. So put square root on both sides, you get v proportional to S to the power 1 by 3. Now look what happens. Why I only care about the proportionality? Because power is equal to force into velocity. So power becomes proportional to, force was proportional to S to the power minus 1 by 3. And the velocity was proportional to S to the power 1 by 3. So S to the power minus 1 by 3, S to the power 1 by 3 cancel out. So power becomes proportional to S to the power 0. So your correct option is option 4 here. You can keep the constants till you calculate, but at the last step you can ignore, only the proportionality matters. With regards to options or questions like this, where it just tells you on it depends on displacement as, only the proportionality is important, not the values. Next two blocks, masses m and 2m, are kept on a smooth horizontal surface. They're connected by an ideal spring, force constant k. Initially spring is unstretched. Constant force is applied at time t. Displacement of smaller block is x, and displacement of heavier block at this moment would be. So this force is applied, and this force can maybe shift the masses along, pull it in the beginning, then they'll contract and so on. Lot of things can happen with regards to the individual masses. But one thing is going to remain true, is that the center of mass will act as one single body and its motion will be determined by this force. Which means the acceleration of each of them might be a bit weird. It might, I won't say weird, rather a better word would be it might seem a bit random. But the center of mass has to move in response to this force. Which means the acceleration of the center of mass is going to be equal to F divided by what is the total mass, 2m plus m, that is 3m. That acceleration has to be there in the center of mass, no matter how they move. They have to move in a way that the acceleration of center of mass is that. So we have got the acceleration, and it says that we are letting that force being applied till a time t. With regards to that, you can find what the displacement of the center of mass should be in that time t. What do we use here? We use the relation S is equal to ut plus half at square. U is 0, it starts from rest. So half at square. This is, remember, displacement of the center of mass, not each of them individually, since we are working with acceleration of center of mass. Half AC t square. Put that in there, you get half into F by 3m. These are small m's here, my bad. F divided by 3 into small m into t square. Did we put this in right? Yeah. So this is the displacement of the center of mass. And we also know that this displacement, whatever the position of the center of mass is now, we have a direct relation that connects it with the displacement of this and this, right? And that is given by SC is equal to m into S1, rather m1 S1 plus m2 S2 divided by m1 plus m2. This was the standard relation, right? And with regards to this model, it would be, our SC would be equal to half into F by 3m into T square, and on this side, this is the SC that we just got, the displacement of center of mass, m1 into S1. So it said that the displacement of the heavier block at this displacement of the lighter block is x. So if lighter block, m into x plus displacement of the heavier block, it would be 2m into x dash. This x dash is what we need to find. That is the final solution, divided by 3m again over here. You can cancel out the 3m's if you want, if that helps you out. So you essentially have 2m x dash is equal to f by 2 t square, and this comes over to the other side, minus mx, right? So we need x dash, bring the 2m down, this becomes f by 4m, and this becomes x by 2. So our correct option is option 4 over here. Okay, so working with individual center of masses is important. See, the spring doesn't even play a role here as long as you're dealing with the center of masses. So the individual behaviors don't matter to us. The next question says that the acceleration A of the plank P required to keep the center C of a cylinder in a fixed position during the motion is when there's no slipping between the cylinder and the plank. Now firstly, what are the forces on this cylinder in the line of the plane? Because those are the forces that can actually be bringing it down. Now there are two forces. You have mg sine theta in this direction. You have mg sine theta trying to pull it down, and you have the force of friction in this direction over here. Those are the two competing forces. There are no other forces over here in that line. So as it says that this center of the C stays there. So there is no acceleration, which means over here these two forces are going to be equal. Your F has to be equal to mg sine theta, right? So these are the linear forces, but this F is also going to turn it. It's going to provide a torque. This mg sine theta won't, because it's acting along the center, but force, since it's acting along the edge, is going to give a torque, and that torque is going to be equal to F into R, where R would be the radius of the cylinder, right? F into R is the radius of the cylinder, and that is equal to I alpha, moment of inertia into angular acceleration. Now for a cylinder, this is a cylinder. For a cylinder, the moment of inertia is half mr square. This is I, moment of inertia, into alpha. Alpha is the angular acceleration. Now this angular acceleration is going to lead to a linear acceleration. Let's forget what's happening here. Let's understand that this angular acceleration, since there is no slipping, this angular acceleration leads to a linear acceleration, and that linear acceleration is given by alpha is equal to A by R. Right? So Fr becomes equal to half mr square into alpha is equal to A by R, which means it is, let's call that that acceleration as AC divided by R, right? Cancel out this R here, this R again goes with here. So your AC is equal to 2F by M. Now understand, this acceleration is the acceleration that this cylinder should have had while coming down. However, this is not doing so because the bottom part is moving at an acceleration in that side. So with regards to this block, this cylinder is actually coming down with this acceleration. But if the block is moved at the same acceleration, then for a person standing outside, this will not appear to move at all. Because with regards to the block, it has this acceleration downwards, but the block itself has that same acceleration over there. So the condition is that this A has to be equal to AC. The acceleration that this has downwards has to be matched by the acceleration of the plank itself upwards. So A has to be equal to AC. So A is equal to AC we got as 2F by M. F was mg sine theta, so 2 mg sine theta divided by M. Cancel out the m's, you get A is equal to 2g sine theta, so your correct option is option 2. Okay, it's very important to understand, the key here is to understand why A has to be equal to AC. It depends on the frame of reference. AC would be the acceleration if you're standing on the plank over here, then AC is the acceleration that you actually see it coming down with. But if you step back out, then that frame of reference itself is accelerating in that direction. So this stays static over there, kind of like relative acceleration. Next, a uniform ring of mass m radius r is placed directly above a uniform sphere of mass 8m and same radius. Center of the ring is at a distance of d is equal to root 3r from the center. The gravitational attraction between sphere and the ring is. So the diagram looks something like this. You have the sphere and you have the ring up top. And the distance between the center of the sphere and the center of the string is d is equal to root 3r. R is the radius of this. This is also r and this is also r over here. Now this entire sphere we can assume it to be a point mass placed over here, and we can just find what is the gravitational force at this point mass with regards to this ring over here. And the relation for the ring, relation for the gravitational field of a ring at a distance along its axis is known to us. It's given by E is equal to G into the mass of the ring, which is given as m, GMD divided by r square plus d square whole to the power 3 by 2. This gives you what the gravitational field would be at a distance of d from the center of the axis of a ring of mass m and radius r. So over here we can put in the value of d is equal to root 3r. If we do that, we will get root 3 gmr divided by r square plus d square. R square stays as is. D square becomes root 3r when squared becomes 3r square into to the power 3 by 2. Now r square plus 3r square is 4r square. You do the 3 by 2 of that. 3 by 2 means first you do the root, 4r square root gives you 2r, then you cube that, so that is going to give you 8r cube. So this gives you, let's keep this here itself, root 3 gmr divided by 8r cube. Cancel out 1r from here, so it becomes root 3 gm by 8r square. Now on this side over here, we'll now see this is the gravitational field at this point, and the force then would be equal to, the force is equal to just the mass into the gravitational field. Now the mass is given as mass of the sphere is given as 8m, so it's 8m into E, that is 8m into root 3 gm by 8r square, root 3 gm by 8r square. The 8's cancel out, you have root 3 gm square divided by r square. Do we have an option? Root 3 gm square by r square. So correct option is this. Let's look at the next question. It says the potential energy of a particle of mass 1 kg in motion along the x-axis is u is equal to 4 1 minus cos 2x. Here x is in meters. The period of small oscillations is. So first up, we want small oscillations, and you will see that this is going to eventually reduce to an SHM. Alright. First, for any SHM, if we need the time period, we need the angular frequency. For angular frequency, we need the acceleration. For acceleration, we need the force. First step is to find the force. Now force is equal to minus du dx, which means we need to differentiate this with respect to x. If you put that in there, this it will become 4 minus 4 cos 2x. So this 4 is a constant, goes away. It will just give you minus cancels with this minus right off the bat, and cos 2x in itself is going to give you minus of sin 2x, 2 sin 2x, right? And this 4 is already multiplied up top. So this becomes minus 8 sin 2x. Now this is the force. We have been given the We have been given the mass we have been given. So we can find the acceleration. This is the force. So the acceleration is just the force divided by the mass, which would just keep it the same, 8 sine 2x, right? Because mass was just 1 kg. So acceleration remains the same. Now it is said that this we are finding for small oscillations. For small oscillations, x is very small. And we know that if theta is small, then sine theta can be approximated to be theta. So that's exactly what we do here. We approximate sine 2x to be equal to just 2x because x is small. That makes this as minus 16x. Now see, this follows the equation of the SHM. And if you compare this with a is equal to minus omega square x, then you will get omega square is equal to 16 or omega is equal to 4, which means the time period, which is 2 pi by omega, is just 2 pi by 4, that is pi by 2. So don't lose faith when you see a complex equation like that. It will generally resolve to something you already know. So the correct option here is option 3, pi by 2. Next one says a capillary is dipped in a water vessel kept on a freely falling lift. Then water will not rise in the tube. Water will rise to maximum available height. Water will rise to the height observed under normal condition. Water will rise to the height below that observed under normal condition. So first up, let's see what the equation for height of capillary rise is. It is given by h is equal to 2t cos theta divided by r rho g. Right? T is the surface tension, you have theta as the contact angle, r radius of the pipe, rho density of liquid, and g is the acceleration due to gravity. Now, when it's in a, so freely falling lift is an accelerated frame of reference. We know in that accelerated frame of reference, when it's coming down, your g would become g minus a. Right? And since it's freely falling, a is equal to g, which means this part, the downward acceleration is g, so this part becomes 0. If that becomes 0, h becomes infinity. Now you know h infinity does not mean it's going to pour out. Instead, it's going to rise to the top and stop, because if you recall, it never crosses past the pipe because the curvature changes, right? But it's going to go to the maximum available height, and it's going to stop there because if this was your originally how the meniscus looked, when it rises to the top, it will curve upwards, it will not flow out. Right? So it rises to the maximum available height, because just by this you can see h should go to infinity. Next one, an object of specific gravity rho is hung from a thin steel wire. The fundamental frequency for transverse standing wave in the wire is 300 Hz. The object is immersed in water so that 1/2 of the volume is submerged. The new fundamental frequency is, now the frequency f is proportional to root over of t. So f2 by f1 is equal to root over of t2 by root over of t1. Why? Because f, if you recall, f was equal to 1 by 2l root over of t by nu. So it's directly proportional to the root of the tensions. What would the tension be? First up, when you have the entire mass just hanging normally, then the tension is the entire mass of the body, which we represent as v rho g, not as mg. Why? Because we have been given the density of that object. So my T2 is equal to V rho g, right? My bad, my T1 would be equal to V rho g. My T1 would be equal to V rho g. So let's keep the root there, we'll need it anyway. We'll keep this as V rho g in the first case, right? And in the second case, the object is immersed in water so that half of its volume is submerged in water. So now V is the entire volume of the object. Now if half of it is in water, then you also have the buoyant force up top. And the buoyant force, what would the buoyant force be? Your buoyant force Fb would be equal to V by 2 into 1 into g. 1 is just the specific gravity of water. That is why we have kept 1. So it is generally V by 2 sigma g. Is the part that is submerged into the density of the liquid, and g. Here it's water, they have said, so we have kept it as 1. So that makes this top part as V rho g. The tension is then V rho g minus Fb. So V rho g minus Fb, that is v by 2 into 1 into g, right? That is your f2 by f1. So f2 becomes equal to f1 into root over of, you can cancel out the v's, you can cancel out the g's, so you will have 2 rho minus 1 divided by 2 rho down below. Cancel out the v's, cancel out the g's, and you'll have 2 cross multiplied here, and then 2 will come down. So you have 2 rho minus 1 by 2 rho, and f1 is just given as 300 hertz. So your correct option is option 1 here. 300 into 2 rho minus 1 by 2 rho, all under a root. Be careful of the root because there's another option without the root. So be careful that you have this power half over there. Next, the pressure versus temperature graph of an ideal gas is as shown in figure. Density of the gas at point A is rho naught. So over here it's rho naught, and we need to find the density at point B. Now we know the density of a gas relation for an ideal gas. Rho is equal to Pm by RT. M is the molar mass. So from here, with regards to point A, we know it is rho naught. It's given here, the density of the gas at pressure at A is rho naught. So rho naught is equal to P naught M by RT naught, right? And at point B, when you go, you have rho dash is equal to, now over here, it's going to be the same relation Pm by RT, but the pressure here is now 3 P naught. So you have 3 P naught M divided by, R is as is, but T becomes 2 T naught. So I'll keep it 2R T naught. Now this Pm by RT naught is just rho naught, as we see from here, which means your rho dash is just equal to 3 by 2 rho naught. So correct option is option 2. Next question, relation between U, P and B for an ideal gas is U is equal to 2 plus 3 PV. The gas is monoatomic, diatomic or polyatomic, or neither either a monoatomic or diatomic. So let's see how we can proceed with this, because this involves a couple of concepts, might be a bit like it might not seem very obvious right off the bat, but look through the entire process. U is given as 2, 3 plus PV. So if I differentiate this, I get du. Now see, before we proceed with this, what is our objective? If we are to determine monoatomic, diatomic or polyatomic, the only thing that can tell us about it is that gamma, that adiabatic constant, right? We need to bring it down to a way where we can get that gamma, and the only way to do that is to come to the relation PV to the power gamma equal to constant. So our goal is to get there, and that is where we'll get to actually. So du, when you differentiate this, this 2 goes away as is. You have 3 into differentiating PV will give us PdV plus VdP, right? Because it's just the UV rule of differentiation. So we have got a relation for du. Next up, we need to replace du with 1 of PdV, and that we can do. Like I told you, we need to go to PV to the power gamma equal to constant. That is the adiabatic process. And in the adiabatic process, we know that dq is equal to 0, which means du is equal to minus PdV, because dq is equal to du plus dw, dq 0, so du is equal to minus dw, and dw is PdV. That is from where we get du is equal to minus PdV. Put that in here, then you will just, if I open up this, shift du over to the other side, we will get 3 PdV plus 3 VdP is equal, my bad, let's not put it equal right off, let's already transfer it there and write it, and here you have another PdV is equal to 0, because du is equal to minus PdV, I shifted over to the other side, so now I have this, so that gives me 4 PdV is equal to minus 3 VdP. Now we can integrate on both sides, but before that we just need to bring all the variables to the same side. So you have 4 dV by V is equal to minus 3 dP by P. Integrating this is going to give you 4 into ln of V is equal to minus 3 into ln of P plus, let's keep a constant of proportionality, ln of C. Constant of integration, ln of C. Now bring this over to this side, and 4 ln of V just means ln of V to the power 4 3 ln of p means ln of p to the power cube, p to the power 3. Bring over to the other side, you'll eventually have ln of v to the power 4 multiplied with p to the power 3. Because this comes here, it becomes plus 3 ln of p. So you know when ln of a plus ln of b is equal to ln of ab. So that's how we get this is equal to ln of c, which means p cube v to the power 4 is equal to a constant. If you put a cube root on both sides, putting a cube root on both sides is going to give you p stays as is, because p becomes just p cube. When you put a cube root, becomes just p. V becomes 4 by 3, and this side you have a constant, cube root of a constant, it will just become a different constant. Now see, we have come to the form pv to the power gamma equal to constant. From here, what do we get the value of gamma? Gamma is equal to 4 by 3, which is a polyatomic gas. Okay, this is how you proceed. Now this step might not seem very counterintuitive, but you just need to proceed with the differentiation and then figure out. So after you get this du, you'll try to figure out what can I replace there. Your end goal is to come to pv to the power gamma is a constant. Okay, keep the goal in mind and keep proceeding with it. Next, a uniform solid brass sphere is rotating with angular speed omega naught about its diameter. It's now increased by, its temperature is now increased by 100 degree. What will be its new angular speed? So we know that by the conservation of angular momentum, I naught omega naught has to be equal to, let's call that I dash omega dash, right? Now I naught, this is a solid sphere, so 2 by 5 mr square omega naught is equal to 2 by 5 m into, now this is no longer going to be r because its temperature has been increased, so its length is going to increase as well, like the radius is going to increase, so it becomes now r plus delta r square into omega dash. Now again 2 by 5 m you can cancel out, doesn't really matter. You have r square omega naught is equal to, if I open up this bracket, you have r square plus 2r delta r plus delta r square omega dash. Now this delta r square we can ignore, it's generally a very negligible quantity because delta r itself is going to be small, so we ignore that. Now delta r by itself can be given by this relation delta r is equal to the original into alpha into delta T, where delta T was the change in temperature, which is just given as 100 degrees Celsius here. So we can put that relation in here. So that makes this as r square omega naught is equal to r square plus 2 into r alpha T, r alpha delta T. So that makes it 2r square alpha delta T. This part, like I said, goes to 0, so that's it into omega dash. You can cancel out the r square, and since we want omega dash is equal to omega naught divided by 1 plus 2 alpha delta T. So 2 alpha value is given as 2 into 10 to the power minus 5, and your change in temperature is given as 100 degrees Celsius. Right, so I'm not going into this, just as you can tell, this is going to give you 100 makes it 10 to the power minus 3, 2 into 2 is 4, so 4 into 10 to the power minus 3, so 1.004, right, 1.004, so omega naught by that it would go to 0.996. You can see it's divided by a number very close to 1. So firstly it should be less than omega naught, right, because it's divided by a number greater than 1, but it's not, the number is not so high that it can take it so low. So that's how you can approximately guess it would be over here. Okay, let's move on to the next question. This says that statement 1, reactance of an AC circuit is 0. It is possible that the circuit contains a capacitor and inductor, and this is in fact a correct statement, because if the capacitive reactance becomes equal to the inductive reactance, then their net effects cancel each other out, making the reactance as 0. So you can have omega L equal to 1 by omega C, reactance would be 0. Statement 1 is correct. Statement 2, in AC circuit, average power delivered by the source never becomes 0. This is an incorrect statement because we have the concept of the power factor. If the power factor is 0, then you have the average power delivered as 0, as is the case of a purely inductive or a purely resistive circuit. So statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. It's option 3 here. Next, two coherent monochromatic light beams of intensities I and 4I are superposed. The maximum possible intensities in the resultant beam are. So we know what the relation is. Root over of I max is equal to root over of I1 plus root over of I2. So that makes it equal to root over of I1 is just I, so root I, plus root over of 4I makes it 2 root I, that is equal to 3 root I, and that is equal to, this is root I max, this is again root I max. So just square on both sides, you will get I max is equal to 9I. On the other hand, if you are finding for I min, root over of I min is equal to root I1 minus I2 or I2 minus I1, doesn't matter since we are only looking at the magnitude. So just for the sake of it, we'll keep it root I2 minus root I, my bad, root I2 minus root I1, which is equal to root I2 would give you again 2I, 2 root I minus root I, that is just going to give you root I. So I min, the root I min is going to be root I, so I minimum is just equal to I. So the maximum is 9I, minimum is I, our correct option is option 3. Next one, as switch S is closed in the circuit shown in the figure, current passed through it is. So here we have this junction and we can assume that the potential of this junction is say X. Then in that case we have a current coming in this direction, and let's assume the current goes here and another current flows down. So just by this junction we can tell that we can get the relation that 20 minus X divided by 2, so that will give you the current flowing in this part, right, is equal to the current flowing over here, so X minus 5 divided by 4 plus X minus 0, so just X divided by 2. So this part gives you the current in this part of the circuit, this X minus 5 by 4 gives you the current in this part, and X by 2 gives you here. I have not taken any potentials, positive, negative, I have just used my intuition to understand which directions current will flow, and each time I have kept positive current, higher potential first, lower potential second. So just multiply with 4 all over throughout the equation, that gives you 40 minus 2x is equal to x minus 5 plus 2x, that is going to give you 2x, 5x is equal to 45. So your x is equal to 9. Now we have got the potential about this point, we know over here it is 0, so we can find the current easily through this part. It's just going to be x divided by the resistance here, x minus 0, that is the potential drop, V by R, so x divided by 2, this is the current we need, that is equal to 9 by 2 is equal to 4.5 amperes. Correct option is option 1 over here. Next question, capacity of a isolated sphere is increased to n times when it is enclosed by an Earth's concentric sphere. The ratio of the radii is, so we know that the original capacitance of just a sphere is 4 pi epsilon naught, let's call it R1, right. In the next case we have the sphere radius R1 and around it we have another concentric, that Earth sphere having a radius R2, which means if I want to find its capacitance, we can find it through its potential difference. The potential difference V would just be, the potential difference across this and this point, V would just be equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2, which is just R2 minus R1 divided by R1 R2. This would be the potential difference across it. And we know this V has to be equal to Q by C, right? If this is a capacitor, then it has to be V is equal to Q by C. If you put that here, Q by C is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught, and then this entire thing. So your C, this would be C2. Q and Q cancel out. Your C2 would come out to be 4 pi epsilon naught R1 R2 divided by R2 minus R1. Right? This would be your capacitance in new case. Now it is said that this C2 is n times of C1. So C2 is equal to NC1. Put in the relation for C2 and C1. You can cancel out the 4 pi epsilon naughts. You would get R1 R2 divided by R2 minus R1 is equal to N into R1. Cancel out the R1s on both sides. You have R2 is equal to NR2 minus NR1. Right? We want R2 by R1. So bring this over to this side. You have all right. Bring R2 over to this side. N1 over this side. So you have N minus 1 R2 is equal to NR1. Just shifted things over to the other side. So R2 by R1 would just be N by N minus 1. This is your correct option. Next, particle of specific charge alpha starts moving from the origin under action of electric field E and B. Its velocity at x naught 0, 0 is 4 I cap plus 3 j cap. Value of x naught is. See, it starts from rest and its velocity increases over time. Now, this can only be this can only be brought about by this electric field. Why? Because the magnetic field does no work on a moving charge. We have learnt about that, which means since it's doing no work, it cannot increase the kinetic energy, which means it cannot change the velocity. So the only force that we need to deal with is the electric field force. That's all we need to care about. So what is that force? That force is equal to Q into this E, or Q into E naught. We won't worry about I cap because the displacement is eventually in the I cap direction. You'll see it will cancel each other out. Rather, it would be like there would be a dot product, and we won't really need to bother about that. So we'll keep F is equal to Q E naught. So the acceleration A is equal to Q E naught divided by M E naught. Or better, we can even go. We need the value. Let's work with work here, because we have done a similar question before. So let's go through a different concept in this. We have used this method. We have already used just. So I want to show you the other way as well, using conservation of energy. So over here, this force is going to do a work, right? And that work is going to be force into displacement, right? Let's keep the I cap here. Let's keep the I cap here. Force into displacement. F into dx I cap, or dx or x whatever is I cap. It's in the same direction. So you see the force is Q E naught I cap into the dot product of in which direction has it moved. The displacement has just been from 0, 0 to x naught, 0. So it has moved in the x direction only. So over here the displacement is just x naught I cap. So I cap and I cap eventually cancel out. I mean, though I don't say cancel out, rather it's I cap dot I cap is 1, right? So you have Q E naught x naught. This is your work done. And by the work energy theorem, we know this work done has to be equal to your kinetic energy, which means half mv square has to be equal to this work done, which is Q E naught x naught. Now from here on, we get v square is equal to Q by m E naught. There's a 2 also because this 2 is cross multiplied there into x naught. What do we need to find? We need to find x naught. Now see, this v square we need. We don't care about in which direction that v is going. We only need the magnitude of the velocity square. So the magnitude of that would be v square would just be 4 square plus 3 square. That is equal to 25. Okay. This is why this method is so useful. So you can just put 25 in there. We get 25 is equal to 2q E naught. Rather, let's already do it in this step itself, that the question does not give you Q or M, but it gives you the specific charge alpha. And alpha is just Q by M, it's just this part, which means we can now write this as 2 alpha E naught into X naught. So X naught is just 25 divided by 2 alpha E naught. That is the correct option. Next, a radioactive element X converts into another stable element Y. Half-life of X is 2 hours. Initially, only X is present. After time T, ratio of atoms of X and Y is found to be 1/4. Then T in hours is. So over here, we need to find this. So see, initially, what is going to happen? There's only X. There is no Y. So at T equal to 0, Nx is equal to N naught, right? Nx is equal to N naught, and Ny is 0. Now, since the options are given as 2, 4, 6 and so on, we can actually avoid the use of complicated relations, and we can just apply these values and test. This is where putting in the options are useful. What do we do? First, at 2 seconds, we know that's the half-life, which means at this 2 seconds time, Nx is going to be equal to N naught by 2. It's going to reduce by half. And your Ny is going to also become N naught by 2. Why? Because Ny is just N naught minus Nx. Whatever number decreases in Nx, that number is gained in Ny. So over here, if you do Ny by Nx, that is, or Nx by Ny, that is equal to just half. My bad. Nx by Ny is equal to just 1. My bad. Not even half, it's just 1. At 4 seconds, Nx drops another half, which means it's going to now become N naught by 4. So Ny now becomes 3 N naught by 4, right? So our Nx by Ny in this case becomes 1 by 3. Then we look at 6 seconds, because that's the next step we need to go to. At 6 seconds, Nx, another half-life has passed, so another 1 by 2 over here. So Nx now becomes N naught by 8, and Ny now becomes 7 N naught by 8. So your Nx by Ny is equal to 1 by 7. Now we don't even need to proceed beyond that. You see, it's said that Nx by Ny is 1 by 4. Now at 4 seconds, it was 1 by 3. At 6 seconds, it drops too far, it drops to 1 by 7. So if there is that 1 by 4 point, that has to lie between these two, which means it has to lie between 4 and 6 seconds. So the correct option here is between 4 and 6. Next question, we have the numerical answer type. It says that a thin prism of angle 6 degree and refractive index for yellow light Ny 1.5 combined with another prism of angle 5 degree and Ny is 1.55. Combination produces dispersion. We need the net average deviation. Produces no dispersion. The net average deviation produced by the combination is. So as you can see, the two prisms are arranged as such, like literally opposite, which means whatever deviation is produced in the first one, the second one's deviation subtracts it, and the net deviation delta has to be equal to delta 1 minus delta 2, because they are arranged opposite. So over here we can use a relation for delta. See, since the angle of the prism is given as 6 degree, 5 degree, they are thin prisms, and for thin prisms we know we can use the relation delta is equal to n minus 1 into a. N is the refractive index of the material, A refers to the angle of the prism. So we do exactly that over here. We have delta is equal to n minus 1. So in the first case, it's 1.5 minus 1 into the angle of the prism is 6 degree minus 1.55, was it? 1.55 minus 1 into, you have the other angle of the prism, which was 5 degree. If you put that, you have delta is equal to 0.5 into 6 degree, that is going to give us 3 degree, minus 1.55 minus 1 gives you 0.55, 0.55 into 5 is going to give you 2.75. So your delta becomes 0.25 degrees. My bad, this is not 0.28, this is 0.25 degrees. Now 0.25, since the answer we need in 1 by x degree, this is 1 by 4 degree. So your x is equal to 4. Alright, let's move ahead. The next question says, when light of frequency twice the threshold frequency is incident on the metal plate, maximum velocity of emitted electrons is v1. When the frequency of incident radiation is increased to 5 times the threshold value, the maximum velocity of the emitted electrons becomes v2. If v2 is equal to xv1, find the value of x. Now generally the relation is half mv square is equal to h mu minus phi naught, where phi naught is a work function, and over here itself, let's since it's given in terms of threshold frequency, let's write it in terms of threshold frequency itself, h mu naught, right? This is the standard relation. Now it is said that in the first case the light of frequency has twice the threshold frequency, which means h mu is 2h mu naught, which means in the first case h mu is equal to 2h mu naught, which means half mv1 square is equal to 2h mu naught minus h mu naught, which is just going to give you h mu naught. That's it. Now we move ahead to the second case. In the second case, you have, it is said that the incident radiation is increased to 5 times the threshold value, which means h mu is now equal to 5 h mu naught, which means by this relation this equation becomes half m, now it is v2 square, is the second case, is equal to 5 h mu naught minus h mu naught, which is going to give you 4 h mu naught. Now h mu naught we've already got is half mv1 square, so we can put that in here. We have half mv2 square is equal to 4 into half mv1 square, cancel out half and m cancelled out. Your v2 square is equal to 4v1 square, taking root on both sides gives us v2 is equal to 2v1. So correct option, let's see, did we get it right? Yep, our correct option is x is equal to 2. Okay. Next question, it says in the circuit the value of current IL will be. So here we have a Zener diode, and the purpose of the Zener diode is let's originally assume that the Zener diode is it's blocking any current through it, right? It has not yet gone into the Zener breakdown region. If that is happening, then we can cut off this part and we can see what the potential drop across these 2 points would be, right? And the potential drop, we can find that easily. It's going to be V divided by, the V is 10 volts, right? 10 volts divided by these two would be in series, so 1800, 1000 plus 800, 1800, right? We want this VL, right? The potential drop across these 2 points. VL would be equal to 10 volt divided by 1800 ohms multiplied with, this is the current flowing, right? I'm assuming that no current flows through the Zener diode, right, in the beginning. I just consider this part. So this into 1000 ohms, and that is going to give you approximately, if you calculate this, you will get it as approximately 5.5 volts, which means this Zener diode cannot be cut off. This Zener diode, it's already exceeded past its breakdown voltage, which means current will flow in the Zener diode. And when that happens, what does the Zener diode do? It maintains that 5 volt across it. It will never let it cross. If the voltage comes off too high, it will drag in a lot of current, right? It's going to drag in a lot of current through the Zener diode, ensuring that the potential difference across this part always remains 5 volts. Now since we need to find IL, we know the potential drop is 5 volts. We have RL as 1 kilo ohm. So our IL is just equal to 5 divided by 1000, that is 5 milliamperes. So our option here will be 5. Next question, an antenna is placed in a dielectric medium of dielectric constant 6.25. If the maximum size of that antenna is 5 millimeter, it can radiate a signal of minimum frequency of how many hertz? So again, this is from the communication system. We know that the length of the antenna L is equal to lambda by 4, which means we have been provided with the size of the antenna as 5 millimeters, so we can get lambda from here. Lambda would be equal to 4L, that is equal to 4 into 5 millimeters, which is 20 millimeters, right? We have the value of lambda. Now, it is said that it's passed through medium which has a dielectric constant, and the dielectric constant is given as 6.25. So we can even find the refractive index. Refractive index is b root over of k, just the dielectric constant, because the mu r, the relative permeability, is given as 1. So that makes n is equal to root over of 6.25, which makes n is just equal to 2.5, right? Now we have lambda, we have n, we needed n because the speed of the medium, the speed of light through the radio wave through the medium is going to be different. So we have lambda, we have to find frequency. So the frequency is just equal to v by lambda, or which is equal to c by n lambda, because the speed of the wave in the medium is just the speed of the electromagnetic wave in vacuum divided by the refractive index. So we have 3 into 10 to the power 8, n is 2.5, and over here we have 20 millimeters, so it's 20 into 10 to the power minus 3. So right off the bat, 2.5 into 20 gives you 50. If we multiply another 2 up top and bottom, let's multiply 2 up top and bottom, because then we make this part as 100, and this becomes 6 into 10 to the power 8. So 100 into 10 to the power minus 3 just keeps it 10 to the power minus 1, which goes up as just 10. So you have 10 to the power 8 into a 10 coming in from here, 10 to the power 9, and 2 into 3 is 6. So 6 into 10 to the power, frequency is 6 into 10 to the power 9 hertz. So we have to give it in gigahertz. So 10 to the power 9 hertz is gigahertz. Your answer here is 6. Let's move ahead. In a Carnot engine, temperature of reservoir is 527 degrees Celsius and that sink is 200 Kelvin. Work done by the engine when it transfers that from reservoir to sink is 12,000 kilojoule. The quantity of heat absorbed by the engine from the reservoir is straightforward question based on efficiency. We know efficiency has two formulas. It is work done divided by the heat taken from the source, and the other relation is that 1 minus T2 by T1, or the 1 minus sink temperature by source temperature. So we'll just equate those relations for efficiency. So we will have W by Q, where Q is the heat absorbed from the source, from the reservoir as it says here, and that is equal to 1 minus T2 by T1. So W is given as 12,000 kilojoules, so 12,000 into 10 to the power 3. Q is what we need to find. On this side we have 1 minus, it's given in degrees Celsius, so we have to convert it into kelvins. 527 degrees Celsius, so its Kelvin is plus 273, plus 73 makes it 600, plus 200 is 800. So that is the reservoir temperature, so that would be in the denominator, and the sink temperature is given as 200 Kelvin, so 200. So 1 minus 200 by 800, this goes with 1 by 4, that 1 minus 1 by 4 gives you 3 by 4, which means your Q is just equal to 12,000 into 10 to the power 3 into 4 divided by 3 over here. You can cancel out this 3 out here to make this into 4,000. 4,000 into 10 to the power 3, that makes this, yep, we have it in 10 to the power 6, because 4 into 4 is 16. 10 to the power 3 from here, another 10 to the power 3 here, that makes it 10 to the power 6 joules. So it's already, we have to represent it in terms of 10 to the power 6 joules. So our answer here is 16. Next question says that a solid cylinder length of A solid cylinder is suspended symmetrically between two massless strings as shown. The distance between the initial rest position and the cylinder should by unbinding the strings to achieve a speed of 4 meters per second. So the strings are unwinding and it's rolling down, right? So first up, linearly what is happening? You have T, you have 2T acting up top and you have 1 mg acting down. And you have a net acceleration downward given by A. So with regards to this, what do we get? We get mg minus 2T is equal to m into A. Yeah, it's given as m into A over here. So this is the one relation we've got linearly. Now the other relation we can also get, because these two tensions are going to give a torque, right? These tensions give a torque and the torque would be 2T into R. R is the radius of this cylinder. 2T, it's actually each tension gives a torque of T into R, force into the distance, okay, into that radius, and because there are two of them, so you have 2TR. This mg will not give any torque because it's acting along the central point. This has to be equal to I alpha, which is the moment of inertia, into the angular acceleration. Since it is said that it is a solid cylinder, the moment of inertia is half mr square into alpha, right? Now alpha, again, the speed with which it turns, that alpha is related to this linear acceleration. The angular acceleration is related to linear acceleration according to the relation A by R. So you can again cancel out few things here. One R goes, one other R goes from here. So your 2T is equal to half MA. Now this value, this is our equation 1, right? And this is our equation 2. We don't need to do any simultaneous linear equation here because we can just put this 2T over here. And when we do that, this 1 is going to give us mg minus half ma is equal to ma. So just shift it over to that side. You may even cancel out the masses, doesn't really matter. G is equal to a plus half a, that is going to give you 3 by 2a. So a becomes equal to 2g by 3. Now what have they asked us for? We have been asked to find how much it needs to come down, what displacement it needs to have in order to have a speed of 4 meters per second. Now we have got the linear acceleration, we have the linear speed, we need the linear displacement, which means we'll use the relation of v square equal to u square plus 2as, or u square is 0, it starts from rest, so it's just 2as, therefore s is equal to v square by 2a. V is 4 meters per second, so v square is going to give you 16. You have 2 into the acceleration is 2g by 3. So 2 into g value they have set as 10 meters per second square. So put the value of g and you have a 3 up top. So what do we get? 16 into 3 gives you 48. 16 into 3 is 48, divided by 4 gives you 12. So it's 12 by 10, that is 1.2 meters. Is that okay? We have to give it in centimeters. So 1.2 meters is 120 centimeters. So our answer here is 120. Right? Do we have it as the correct answer? Yeah, that is the correct answer. I just have the solutions there just to ensure that any calculations I don't miss out. Next question, the coercivity of a small magnet where the ferromagnet gets demagnetized is 3 into 10 to the power 3 ampere per meter. Current required to be passed in a solenoid of length 10 centimeter and number of turns 100 so that the magnet gets demagnetized when inside the solenoid is. So first up, this is the value of H, and if you want to go from H all the way to magnetic field, then you have to use the relation of B is equal to mu into H. So this is the magnetic field that you need to give in order to demagnetize it. This coercivity is this H over here, right? And also the magnetic field, this is, let's call this the magnetic field required for coercivity, and the magnetic field because of the solenoid would be mu into Ni. You know this as mu naught, but let's assume that there's a medium in there with specific permeability, then we would have this as mu. If it was vacuum, you would have this as mu naught, then this would also have been mu naught, right? So we have kept mu just to keep things more general. Now this magnetic field has to be equal to this, because the magnetic field that the solenoid creates is able to actually give the magnetic field required for coercivity. So we just equate them. If we equate them out, then we get mu hc is equal to mu ni. Cancel out the mu's right away. hc value is given as 3 into 10 to the power 3. N value is the number of turns per unit length. So it's just the total number of turns divided by the total length. Total number of turns is 100 divided by the total length is 10 centimeter, that is 0.1 meter. 0.1 meter into I, and that I value we need to find. This you can take this away, make this 1000. So you have this 1000 cancelling out with this 10 to the power 3, which gives you I is equal to 3 ampere. So your correct option is 3 ampere, or 3 because it's a numerical answer type. Next question. In an experiment to find acceleration due to gravity g using a simple pendulum, time period of 0.5 seconds is measured from time of 100 oscillations with a watch of 1 second resolution. If measured value of length is 10 centimeter known to 1 millimeter accuracy, the accuracy in the determination of g is found to be we need the percentage, right? So what do we know by the relation? We know t is equal to 2 pi root over of L by g, which means g is equal to 4 pi square L divided by t square. So when we write this in its error form, then we will have delta g by g into 100, which is the percentage error in g, is equal to delta L by L into 100 plus 2 delta t by t into 100. This 2 comes about because t is squared. Okay. Now this is what we need to find. Delta L by L, what is the length over here? The error in length, absolute error would be 1 millimeter. So we have 1 divided by 10 centimeter. 10 centimeter is just 100 millimeters into 100 right here, plus 2 delta t by t. What is the error in time? The error in time is 1 second because that is the resolution. To 2 into 1 second divided by, now see over here it is 0.5 seconds, but that is not what you can put, because the first red flag is that you cannot measure 0.5 seconds if the resolution is 1 second. So what have you rather done here? You have actually measured 100 oscillations and then divided it, right? You have measured the time for 100 oscillations, then divided by 100, then you got 0.5, which means what is the time that you actually measured? You actually measured this time into 100. Right? That is the time you measured, then you divided by 100 to get this. So actual time measured is 0.5 into 100, that is equal to 50 into 100. So this cancels out with 2. So this gives you 1 plus 2 into 2, 4. So that is 5. Since we are finding for percentage, this is actually going to give you in percentage. So our correct option is 5. Okay. Next, a potentiometer wire of length 300 centimeter is connected in series with a resistance 780 ohms and a standard cell of EMF 4 volts. Constant current flows through potentiometer wire. Length of null point for cell of EMF 20 millivolts is found to be 60 centimeters. So let's quickly draw out a diagram for this. You have the original cell of where is it? It has 4 volts. 4 volts. You have the resistance, which is 780 ohms. You have the potentiometer wire, the entire potentiometer wire, and down below you have the cell that you want to measure for, which it said has an EMF of 20 millivolts. So it's 20 millivolts, and you have the galvanometer here, and maybe that is your null point over there. Now let's first understand that even without this, let's assume that the resistance of the potentiometer wire, that is what we need to find, be R. So first up, when you don't even have the cell, then what is the current flowing in this part of the circuit? The current flowing would be given by I is equal to the cell for the voltage 4 divided by 780 plus R, because this resistance and the potentiometer resistance are in series. Now, what is the potential drop? So, the null point is found at this 60 centimeter mark, right? So, we need to find out what the potential drop over there is. Now, the potential drop is equal to this current multiplied with the resistance of this, right? So, that V of just that 60, V60 would be equal to this current, that is 4 by 780 plus R, multiplied with just the resistance of this part. Now, this entire thing is 300 centimeter, that entire thing has a resistance R. So, how much would 60 centimeter have? It's basic unitary method, 60 by 300 into R, right? Now, this V60 is equal to the EMF of this cell, because only then, if whatever is the potential difference here and the potential difference here, only then they would be cancelling each other out and you would not have any current flowing over here, right? So, this V6, this itself is equal to, okay, we will need that space for calculation, is 20 into 10 to the power minus 3 volts. Okay, so we need to calculate for R from here. So, how do we proceed with that? This is 300 over here. So, this goes with 5. When you cross multiply the 5 over to the other side, you get 100. 100 into 10 to the power minus 3 gives you 1 by 10. Send the R down. So, you eventually arrive at the equation as 4 by 780 plus R is equal to, you have 1 by 10. So, 1 by 10R. Okay, this is how you simplify things. You don't directly multiply everything and expand everything out. Try to simplify stuff. So, you have 4 by 780 plus R is equal to 1 by R, which gives you 40R is equal to 780 plus R, right? 40R minus R gives you 39R. 39, yeah, that is 39R. 39R is equal to 780. So, from there you can get right away R is 780 by 39, 78 is 2 times of 39. So, R is going to be equal to 20 ohms. 780 by 39 is 20, 78 by 39 is 2. Next one, damped harmonic oscillator has frequency 5 oscillations per second. Amplitude drops to half its value for every 10 oscillations. The time it takes to drop to 1 by 1000 of the original amplitude is. So, here you can, since the amplitude drop is also as an exponential e to the power minus bt, you can treat it a similar way to how you do with radioactive decay. So, what relation we will use here is that the final, when it drops to, it has dropped to a value of 1 by 1000, right? And we know what we can consider as the half-life, right, would be this 10 oscillations, right, because that is the time when it drops to half of it. So, we write it as half to n by 10, right. Try to draw the analogy between this relation and the relation for your radioactive decay, right. It's a very similar relation to that, because here also it drops to half its value, there the number drops to half its value, here the amplitude drops to half its value. So, that happens in every 10 oscillations. Here n represents how many oscillations have passed. Okay. Now, 1 by 1000, how do we proceed with this? We take the natural log on both sides. Taking the natural log on this side gives you ln of 1000 is equal to n by 10 into ln of 2. Right? It's actually ln of 1 by 1000, but 1 by ln of 1 by 1000 is just minus ln of 1000. Same thing over here, we'll get minus ln of 2, the minus from both sides cancel out. So, I've directly represented it in this form. Ln of 1000 can be written as ln of 10 to the power 3, which is just 3 into ln of 10 is equal to n by 10 into ln of 2. Now, these are some quantities that you should know. The natural log of 10 is 2.303. So, we need to find for n. So, n is equal to this 3 into 10 to the power, 3 into ln of 10. This entire thing multiplied with 10, which goes from this side, and divided by ln of 2. Let's shift over to this side. So n is equal to ln of 10, I told you, is 2.303. So it is 3 into 2.303 into 10 divided by, you have ln of 2. ln of 2 is 0.693. Again, this relation you should know from your radioactive decay, because there we were finding ln of 2 by lambda and so on. Okay, so ln of 2 is 0.693. Now see, 3 into 2.303, 2 into 2.3 is going to take you to 6.9. Right? 2 into 2.3 is going to go to 6.9. So you can approximate that this is just 10 times of this. This would go to somewhere 6.9, this is already 0.693. So you can approximate this to be roughly equal to 10, which means your n value now becomes 100. So you need 100 oscillations in order to drop to 1/1000th of the original amplitude. Now 5 oscillations happen in 1 second. So how much time will this 200 oscillations take? The time taken would just be this 100 divided by 5 oscillations per second, that is equal to 20 seconds. So the time taken would be 20 seconds. Okay. Oh, so that's it. We finished all of them. I didn't even realize it. Anyway, those were the questions. The questions were not too easy, like it was very much like the last paper, not too easy, not too difficult. Some were pretty straightforward, some required a bit more thinking, especially that thermodynamics question and some questions of mechanics here. So that's it for this paper solution. I'll catch you guys with the next paper solution.
Hello everyone, myself Aman Verma, chemistry faculty at Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya, and I welcome you all to the video solution of Grand Test 5 of All India Test Series. So guys, let's see what was the question and how to solve that question in this particular test. Talking about the first question guys, in this question if you'll see, the first question was 2.86 gram of sodium carbonate dot XH2O in 100 ml solution is found to be 0.2 normal. Hence X value is. So we are going to solve this particular question in this way. First of all, I am going to calculate molarity and then I am going to relate molarity with normality so that we can calculate X. What is molarity? It is number of moles by volume in liter, but over here it is ml, so we have to multiply it by 1000. What is number of moles? Weight of a substance, that is 2.86 by molecular weight. So molecular weight of Na2CO3 is 106 plus water is 18 and X value we don't know. This is number of moles. By volume is 100 into 1000. So we need to cancel it 20 over here, 20 over here. Finally, the molarity equation that you will get is 2.86 by 106 plus 18x. This is what molarity. Talking about normality, we know that molarity times n factor is normality. What is molarity? 28.6. Here you will get 28.6. Extremely sorry over here guys. Here it is 28.6. Because this 10 will get multiplied, right? So it is 28.6. Okay. So 28.6 by 106 plus 18x, n factor Na2 plus. Okay, there are 2 sodium ion or CO3 2 minus ion. So charges are what? 2. So n factor will be 2 and normality is 0.2. Normality is what? 0.2. If you will calculate all this value, you will get x is equal to 10. So for this particular question, the right option is option 2. Okay, the right option is what? Option 2. Here comes the next question. The coordination number of chromium is 6. Coordination number of chromium is 6 in this given compound. You need to tell the ratio of oxalate, ethylenamine, okay, ethylene diamine and superoxide. Clear? Sure. So we know that oxalate is a bidentate ligand, even ethylene diamine is a bidentate ligand, and superoxide is a monodentate ligand. Okay. So we need one ligand of C2O4 minus, that is oxalate ion, one of this and 2 of this. So total will give you what? Coordination number as 6. 2 plus 2 plus 2. Okay, so one ligand, one ligand and two ligands. So by this thing you will get option as 2. Clear? Next, a diatomic molecule has dipole moment of 1.2 d bind. Okay, if the bond distance is this, the fraction of electronic charge on each atom is. So let's calculate. We know that dipole moment is charge into distance. Charge will be dipole moment. What is dipole moment? It is 1.2 d bind, that is equal to 10 raised to minus 18 electrostatic unit into centimeter, whole divided by what is the distance? 1 Armstrong, and 1 Armstrong is nothing but 10 raised to minus 8 centimeters. So if you will solve this thing, you will get 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 10 ESU. That is the charge. But the charge on electron is 4.8 into 10 raised to minus 10 electrostatic unit. So fraction of charge on each atom will be 1.2 into 10 raised to minus 10 whole divided by 4.8 into 10 raised to minus 10, that is equal to 1 by 4. 12 4 the 48, and this will get cancelled. So 1 by 4 is 0.25 and hence option will be 1. Clear? Sure. Next, the process of purification of metals is represented by the following scheme. This is a reaction and they have asked which reaction this is. It is used, titanium is used for the purification and hence it is Van Arkel. Clear? Option 4. Next, aluminium phosphate is 100% ionized. That means if you take aluminium phosphate, it will ionize at with molality. Okay, molal solution is 0.01 aqueous solution and hence delta TB by KB is. Okay, so we know that elevation in boiling point is given by Vent Hoff factor times molality into molal elevation constant KB. So if I take the ratio delta TB by KB, I is how much? 2. Molality is 0.01 and hence you will get answer as 0.02. The ratio is 0.02 and hence the option 4 will be the right option. Clear? Next, the rate for the reaction, the rate law is, we need to calculate rate law. Okay, over here if you see the table carefully, what they have done is, in the first and the second case, okay, they have kept the concentration of B constant and they have changed the concentration of A, and hence by equating these two equations, by equating the rate equations for these two, we can calculate the rate of order of A. Similarly, for first and 3, concentration of A is constant. So if we equate this thing, we will get order of B and hence we can calculate rate law. So let's get started with the first one. For the first one, rate is 0.25 into K times concentration of A and B is 1. So it is 1 raised to A into 1 raised to B. For the second one, for the second experiment, the rate is 0.50. K times concentration of A is 2 into concentration of B is 1. We have to take the ratio of it. If you take the ratio of it, K and K will get cancelled. 1 raised to B, 1 raised to B will get cancelled, and you will, and this is what, 1 by 2. So half equal to 1 by 2 half raised to A. So can I say A value is what? 1. So by equating 1 and 2, we got A as 1. That is order with respect to A is what? 1. Now for the second case, what we will do is, we will keep equation 1 as same thing, that is 0.25 K times 1 raised to A into 1 raised to B. Okay, then we will take the third experiment. For the third experiment, again the rate is 0.25, right? K value is K is this, concentration of A is 1 and concentration of B is 2. So it is 1 raised to A and 2 raised to B. again take the ratio of it. This will get cancelled, this will get cancelled, this will get cancelled. So can I say that 2 raised to b, okay, it is what, 1 by, okay, it is, wait a sec, it is 1 equal to 1 by 2 raised to b. Clear? Sure. Now anything raised to 0, okay, anything raised to 0 is what, 1. So see what I am going to do over here. So can I write 1 is equal to 1 raised to b by 2 raised to b? Can we write this thing? So can I say this thing, 2 raised to b is equal to what, 1 raised to b? Clear? Sure. Similarly, can I write that 2 raised to 0 is 1, that is equal to what, 1 raised to b? Hence b value comes out to be what, 0. That is, it is independent of concentration of b, and hence rate, can I say rate is equal to k times concentration of a raised to a into concentration of b raised to b, right? That will be equal to what, rate is equal to concentration of, because a value is 1 and b value is what, 0. Clear? Sure. Got it. So we'll go with option 3. Okay, we'll go with what, option 3. Got it? Clear? Next, for the following, this is the equilibrium given. Kr is found to be, sorry, it's not Kr, it is Kp. Kp is found to be 0.5 at 400 Kelvin, and hence partial pressure of ammonia and carbon dioxide are respectively. Okay, we need to calculate that thing. So first of all, Kp is equal to partial pressure of ammonia raised to stoichiometric coefficient 2 into partial pressure of carbon dioxide, that is nothing but product, raised to 1. It is solid, so we do not take it. Okay, clear? Now partial pressure of ammonia, okay, partial pressure of ammonia is found to be 2 by 3p, where p is the total pressure. Similarly, partial pressure of carbon dioxide is found to be p by 3. Clear? Sure. Now if you substitute these values over here, you will get Kp. What is Kp value given? Kp value is given is 0.5, 2 by 3 square, so it is 4 by 9 p square into p by 3, that is equal to 4 p cube by 27. If you will solve this thing, you will get p value as 1.5. Substituting p value as 1.5, you will get partial pressure of ammonia is equal to 2 by 3 into 1.5, that is equal to what, 0.5. That value will be what, 1. So partial pressure of ammonia is 1. Similarly, partial pressure of carbon dioxide is p by 3, okay, that is 1.5 by 3, that is equal to 0.5. So it is 1 and 0.5. It is 1 and 0.5, that is option 3. Clear? Sure. Next, for this reaction you need to know the sign. First of all, 2 chlorine atom is getting converted to chlorine gas, that means bond formation delta H will be negative. We can cancel out this, we can cancel out this. Okay, but 2 atoms are getting converted to 1 molecules, entropy decreases, that means entropy is negative. Entropy is negative. Okay, clear? So we'll cancel out this thing as well. Option 4 is the right answer. Clear? Next, silver chromate, Ksp of this thing is given as this at 298 Kelvin. The solubility of this at 0.1 molar AgNO3 solution is. So first of all, Ksp, this will dissociate as okay, so Ksp is equal to concentration of Ag plus into concentration of, clear? Sure. So KSP value is given as 1.1 into 10 raised to minus 12. Okay, concentration of this thing is 0.1 raised to 2 into concentration of O4 minus ion. Okay, this concentration can be related to solubility. It can be related to what? Solubility. So solubility will be equal to 1.1 into 10 raised to minus 12 whole divided by 10 raised to minus 2, because this 0.1 the whole square is what? 10 raised to minus 2. Okay, so we'll cancel out this thing, we'll get 1.1 into 10 raised to minus 10. Okay, and that is option 2. That is option 2. Clear? Next, for the following cell, this EMF of the cell and standard EMF of the cell is given, then the value of cadmium by zinc is. Okay, so according to Nernst equation, EMF of a cell is equal to E naught of a cell, that is equal to that is minus 0.059 by number of electrons into Faraday log of, okay, it will be zinc 2 plus by cadmium 2 plus, concentration of zinc ion into concentration of cadmium ion. Clear? Sure. EMF of the cell is given as 0.30, E naught of a cell is given as 0.36 minus 0.09. Okay, number of electron into Faraday, so total will be what? 2, because there is loss and gain of electron is what? 2, so it is multiplied by 2, divided by 2, log of concentration of okay, clear? So this will be get multiplied over here and this will get multiplied over here as well. So 0.3 into 2 is 0.60, that is equal to 0.72 minus 0.06, I am approximating it, log of zinc plus 2 concentration of log of cadmium plus 2. Clear? Sure. If I take this thing this side, it is 0. Minus 0.12 minus 0.060, again log of zinc plus 2 into cadmium plus 2. Okay, clear? If you solve this thing, you will get log of zinc plus 2 by cadmium plus 2, this negative and negative will get cancelled and this will be equal to 2 times, so 0. Okay, this will be according this will be 0.12 by 0.06. Clear? You need to solve this thing, you will get value as 2 over here, right? That means concentration of zinc plus 2 into concentration of cadmium plus 2 is 10 raised to 2. Okay, if I will do the reverse of it, it is 1 by 10 raised to 2, that is equal to 0.01. Okay, and option 2 is the right answer. Clear? Next, the graph between log of x by m and log of p is a straight line at angle 45 degree. So 45 degree, here we can take tan 45 as 1 as a slope. So slope we got it as 1 with the intercept of OS shown. Okay, intercept is this, that is 0.310. Okay, 0.310 and at pressure 0.2. Clear? So we know that log of x by m is equal to log of k plus 1 by n log of p. This is the equation. Okay, that is equal to what? Y m this is y mx plus c. Wait, this is c, this is x, and this is m. So slope. So this value is 1. Okay. Log of k. Log of k is what? Log of k is intercept. So log of k is how much? 0.3010, because this is intercept, and intercept value is already given as 0.3010. Okay. 1 by n is nothing but what? Slope. Slope value we have already calculated 1. Log of p, pressure is at 0.2, so log of 0.2, and this is log of x by m. 0.3010 is log 2 plus log of 0.2. So log of a plus log of b is log of ab. So this is log and log will get cancelled. So x by m is 0.4, and that is option 2. Clear? Next, major product for this particular reaction. This follows Markovnikov's rule. Carbon containing less number of hydrogen, negative part to carbon containing less number of hydrogen. We'll go with option 2. Next, aldol condensation reaction is not given by the aldehyde or a ketone or a carbonyl compound which does not have alpha hydrogen. We'll go with option 2 over here as well. Next, end product of the following sequence of the reaction is, okay, it is NBS. So over here what you will get is allylic substitution, that means Br. Okay, then it is treated with magnesium and magnesium in ether, that means you are going to get a Grignard's reagent. So in spite of this you will get what? A Grignard's reagent, MgBr. Okay, and then it is treated with cyanide and hydrolyzed. Okay, it is treated with cyanide and hydrolyzed. So finally you will get a ketone which will look something like this. CO, Cn will get converted to CO and then CH3. So do we have such option? Do we have such option? Option 2. Okay, although this carbon should be over here, but it's okay. Option 2. Clear? Next, in which case Helmholtz-Zielinski reaction can take place? Can take place, again it requires what? Alpha hydrogen. No alpha hydrogen. No alpha hydrogen. Alpha hydrogen is over here, so we'll go with option 3. Clear? Next, given below are the two statements. One is labeled as assertion and the another is labeled as reason. Assertion: boron is unable to form BF6 3-. True. Size of boron is very small. True. But is it the correct explanation? Answer is no. And hence we'll go with option 2. Both A and B are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Clear? Sure. Next, given below are the two statements. Statement 1, the pentavalent oxide of group 15 elements E2O5 is less acidic. Wrong. It is more acidic. It is more acidic. So this statement is false. Then the trivalent oxide of E2O3, no. The acidic character of trivalent oxide of group 15, that is E2O3, decreases down the group. This is true. Okay, clear? So statement 1 is false, statement 2 is true. So we'll go with option 4. Next, again assertion and reason. Assertion: the ionic radii of O2 minus and Mg2 plus are same. No, this is bigger because they are isoelectronic species. It has more number of cation, that means its nuclear charge is more and hence size is less. It has its effective nuclear charge is less, that's why size is more. Okay, so statement assertion is wrong. Both are isoelectronic species. True. So we'll go with option 4. A is false, R is true. Next, in statement 1, in copper sulfate dot 5H2O we have CuO bonds are present. True, because H2O, 4H2O is acting as a ligand, that means coordinating directly with central metal atom, that is copper. Statement 2, in copper sulfate dot 5H2O ligands containing copper ions are O and S based ligands. No, it is only O based ligand. So second statement is false. Okay, so again we'll go with option 4. Clear? Sure. Wait, not option 4 this time. Statement 1 is true. Statement 2 is false. So statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. We'll go with option 3, guys. Sorry for this question. We'll go with option 3. Clear? Next. Experimental reaction of methyl chloride with aniline and anhydrous AlCl3 does not give ortho and para methyl aniline. True, because aniline is Lewis acid and AlCl3 is aniline is Lewis base and AlCl3 is Lewis acid. They will coordinate. So this statement is true. The NH2 group of aniline becomes deactivating because of salt formation with anhydrous AlCl3 and hence yield metamethyl aniline as a product. Okay, clear? In the light of the above statement, choose the correct appropriate option from the given solution or from the given below. Okay, so first statement is true. Second, NH2 group of aniline becomes deactivating because of salt formation. That is also what? True. Clear? So we'll go with option over here. Okay, NH2 group of aniline becomes deactivating of salt formation. No, it does not become deactivating. It does not become deactivating and does not give methyl aniline product. It does not give product because it coordinates with AlCl3 and there is no electrophile formed. So I'll give reason as wrong. The reason is wrong. So we'll go with option A is true but R is false. Clear? Next. Okay, talking about this, how many nitrogen atoms are present in monomer of nylon 6,6? Okay, it consists of adipic acid. Adipic acid is given as COOH, then CH2 4 times COOH, so no nitrogen, and hexamethylene diamine, NH2, CH2, NH2. So total number of nitrogen atom is 2. The answer is 2 over here. Next, what mass of CH4 produces this much water molecules when burned in excess of oxygen? So let us write the reaction. Methane combines with oxygen to give you CO2 plus H2O. There are 4 hydrogen over here, so multiplied by 2, right? So how many oxygen? It becomes 4 oxygen, so multiplied by 2. Okay, so please make a note of it. 1 mole gives you 2 moles of water. That means 16 grams, okay, gives you 2 into 6.023 into 10 raised to 23 molecules. Okay, then how much gram will give this much? So we don't know x gram, but we need how much? 3 into 10 raised to 23 molecules. So this x will be 16 into 3 into 10 raised to 23 whole divided by 2 into 6 into 10 raised to 23. I am doing approximation. 23 will get cancelled. 2 8s are, 3 2s are, 2 4s are. Okay, clear? And hence answer will be what? 4 grams. Answer will be what? 4 grams. Clear? So 4 grams of methane will be needed. So you have to write answer as 4 grams. EDTA is a multi-dentate ligand. Its denticity is 6. Okay. Next, magnetic moment of Mx plus, whose atomic number is this. What is the value of x? See, this is magnetic moment. So number of unpaired electron will be less. Can I say this is approximately equal to 6? And hence the number of unpaired electron will be 5. Okay, if you solve this equation, you will get number of unpaired electron. Okay, number of unpaired electron will be what? 5. If it was, the value was approximately equal to 7, then I would have considered 7. If the value is something near to 3, I would have considered number of unpaired electron is how much? 2. Okay, so that's how it is related. The second thing, Z is 26. So can I say for atomic number 26, the electronic configuration will be argon 4s2 3d6, but the number of unpaired electron is how much? 5. So can I say that this M n plus or x plus, okay, its electronic configuration is argon 3d5. That's how you get what? Atomic number as number of unpaired electron as 5, right? That means how much electron we have removed? We have removed 3 electrons. So here n plus value is 3. Okay, the value of x is what? 3. Please make a note of it. The value of x is what? 3. Next, iron sulfate is 50% ionized in aqueous solution at 298 Kelvin. What is its want-off factor? Iron sulfate, okay, that is Fe2 SO4 thrice. It dissociates as 2 Fe2 plus 3 sulfate ions. So the number of ions is total 5. Okay, whereas if I talk about degree of dissociation I, it is I minus 1 and n minus 1. Alpha is 0.5, I minus 1, 5 minus 1. This is equal to what? 4. 4 5s are 20. So that is equal to 2 I minus 1, and hence I equal to 3. So want-off factor over here, okay, want-off factor over here is 3. Clear? Next, how many farad of electricity is required in the reduction of 1 mole of Al2O3? You calculate the number of electron required, and that will be equal to what? Number of Faraday. So Al2O3, in this case, can I say that aluminium plus 3 will get converted to aluminium? That means it will require total 3 electrons. Twice of aluminium require 6 electron. So can I say that 6 Faraday of electricity is required? Yes, so answer is what? 6 Faraday. Okay, clear? But basically 6 moles, and 6 moles is nothing but what? 6 Faradays. Okay, next, optically active isomers of tartaric acids are, there are 2. Okay, one is what? One is DNL and one is what? Meso. Okay, one is DNL and one is what? Meso. So optically active isomers of tartaric acid is how much? 2. Please make a note of it. One is meso, one is dextro, and one is levo. They are mirror images of each other. Clear? Next, the degree of unsaturation of C3H4 is, let us calculate. Degree of unsaturation is here half 2C plus 2 minus M plus 3 trivalent atom. Okay, so half. Number of carbon atom is 3, so 2 3s are 6 plus 2. Monovalent is 4. There is no trivalent atom. Okay, so that is equal to half. 8 minus 4 is 4, and its degree of unsaturation comes out to be 2. So answer is 2. Coming upon to this question, the rate of diffusion of hydrogen is n times the rate of oxygen. What is the value of n? So rate of diffusion of hydrogen by rate of diffusion of oxygen, okay, is equal to root of molecular weight of oxygen by molecular weight of hydrogen, right? So what is molecular weight of oxygen? 32. Molecular weight of hydrogen is 2, 16, and that is equal to 4. So it is basically 4 times. Basically what? 4 times. Last one. Oxidation number of metal of tolerance reagent after reduction becomes. In tolerance reagent, the metal is iron, okay, and it forms a silver mirror test. That means silver get deposited at the inner surface of the glass, okay, and since silver is getting deposited, its oxidation number is 0. So oxidation number of metal of tolerance reagent after reduction becomes what? 0. Clear? Sure. So guys, that was all the question that has came in your examination. I hope guys you must have understood how to solve all this particular question. Still you have doubts, difficulties, you can post your doubts or difficulties in the comment section and we'll definitely revert you back. Till then guys, thank you so very much for joining this video solution for your Grand Test 5 of All India Test Series. Take care, keep smiling.
Hi dear students, welcome to Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya. This is Bashir, Math faculty. Right, let us discuss mathematics part of this particular question paper. You see, let us go to the first question without any further ado. You see, here two statements are given. One is sine inverse of sine 10. It is actually sine inverse of sine 10 is one expression. Second one is cos inverse of cos 10. are given as x and y respectively, we want y minus x. Sin inverse of sin 10 can be calculated by sin inverse of sin x graph. I think you do remember 0 to pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, even you can go to 5 pi by 2, 3 pi, then 7 pi by 2. You just recall the graph, my dear friends. Sin inverse of sin 10. See, 0 to pi by 2 will be this graph, then pi to, this is 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, 5 pi by 2, 3 pi, like this. 3 pi is 9 point something, 10 will be here. So what is the definition of the graph here? You see, minus x plus 3 pi is the definition. So when x is 10, my dear friends, this is going to be 3 pi minus 10 by this graph. In the same way, cos inverse of cos 10. Let me recall this graph. Cos inverse of cos graph, you can write only pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi. You just recall the graph, my dear friends. 0 to pi, x itself, then pi to 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi. Here 10 will be here approx. We can say this is going to be 3 pi, it is, I can say, minus x plus 4 pi. So this is going to be cos inverse of cos 10, I can say like 4 pi minus 10. Now he is asking y minus x. This is y, this is x, the difference is, that means y minus x is going to be pi. That's what he has given. So statement 1 is correct, my dear friends. Right? Statement 1 is correct. Let us check with the statement 2. You see, sin inverse of x square plus 1 by 3 step x and cos inverse of x square minus 2 by 3 with step is equal to x square is the equation. So friends, can I write it as sin inverse of x square plus 1 by 3 with step plus cos inverse of, you see, x square minus 2 by 3, I can write x square plus 1 by 3 minus 1 with step. Since it is integer, you can write x square plus 1 by 3 with step minus 1 you can write. So this is going to be, yeah, step of x square plus 1 by 3 minus 1. This is going to be, and equal to x square is the equation, my dear friends. So x square sin inverse input can be, you see, x square plus 1 by 3 step must be between minus 1 to 1. You just see the domain. So x square plus 1 by 3 value should be, step of this can be either minus 1 or 0 or 1. That means this must be between minus 1 to open 2, because up to open 2 it is going to be, I can say, step is going to be 1 itself. So if you apply, anyhow this is always greater than or equal to, its minimum value is 1 by 3. So x square is less than 2 minus 1 by 3, which is 5 by 3. So 0 less than or equal to x square less than 5 by 3 is one possibility. In the same way, here also you can also see, my dear friends, this expression minus 1, step of x square plus 1 by 3 minus 1 should also be, I can say, this expression can be up to, you see, this is less than or equal to 1. So this step is less than or equal to 2 in the sense, you see, my dear friends, you can take one range of x for x. If you take the common values, you can see there will be some possibility where this step can be 0 or 1 or minus 1. So friends, when this is 0, this is going to be 0 minus 1. You will get like sin inverse 0 plus, you can say, cos inverse of minus 1 is equal to x square, kind of we need to check. Sin inverse 0 is 0, cos inverse of minus 1 is pi. So pi is equal to x square should happen whenever this value within the range of this step is equal to 0. This step becomes 0 when x square is taken between 0 to 2 by 3, whereas x square is pi is impossible in this particular range. So you can say this is not possible. In the same way, when this is 1, sin inverse of this is 1, my dear friends, this is going to be cos inverse 0 should be equal to x square. This is pi by 2, cos inverse 0 is pi by 2, x square is going to be, you can say, pi. But when this is possible, x square is x square plus 1 by 3 step 1, in the sense x square must be more than 2 by 3. So 2 by 3 less than x square less than, if you take less than 5 by 3. So in this case you can say x can never be pi, my dear friends, x square can never be pi, and hence my dear friends here also you can't find any solution. If you put minus 1 here, this is going to be minus 2, which is meaningless. So I can say this particular expression has no solution, and hence my dear friends he is saying equal to 0, that number of solutions is 0. So statement 2 is also correct, statement 1 is also correct. So I can go with the statement, both the statements are true. Okay. Next, you see theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, theta 4 are eccentric angles of 4 concentric points and ellipse. Friend, this is the standard result if any circle cuts the ellipse at 4 points. That means if there are 4 concentric points, so sum of their eccentric angles theta 1 plus theta 2 plus theta 3 plus theta 4 is going to be 2n pi. It is going to be n is some integer. So this is going to be cos of 2n pi by 4, which is cos of n pi by 2. This n pi by 2 means this can be 1 or minus 1 or 0, that is it, no other value. So he said cannot be. It can be minus 1, 1, 0 is possible, it can never be 1 by 2. So answer is fourth option, right friends. Next, you see there exists a point in xy plane such that two distinct tangents are drawn to the parabola y square is equal to 4ax becomes normal to x square is equal to 4by. This is the parabola. You can take a general point here, you see bt square comma 2bt can be general point. You can take the normal equation to this. You see generally for standard one we get y plus xt, no, here x plus yt is equal to btq plus 2bt. This is the normal equation. If you want you can derive, take the derivative, tangent slope you will get, normal slope you take, point is there, you can find the normal equation. Otherwise take the point on this in this way, and this is the one. Now this should be tangent over standard parabola y square is equal to 4ax. Apply yt is equal to minus x plus bt cube plus 2bt, and you just divide with t, minus 1 by t into x plus bt square plus 2b. So it is like y is equal to mx plus c. A line y is equal to mx plus c touches this parabola means c is equal to a by m is the condition. That is bt square plus 2b is equal to a is a itself, m is minus 1 by t, here t comes, which is, my dear friends, you can say bt square plus at plus 2b is equal to 0. This is the condition. There must be two such t's, that means two tangents should be drawn. That means, my dear friends, I can say delta must be strictly greater than 0, b square greater than 4ac. So a square is greater than 8b square, a square is greater than 8b square. Option 4 is the right answer. Right friends. Next, you see the Boolean expression is equivalent to p r q. Are simple here, there are only two variables p q. So we just want negation p, negation q also. Write the truth table, 4 cases, true, 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 false, false, true, false, false. In these 4 cases negation p will become false, false, true, true. Negation q will become false, true, false, true. Okay. Now you just take, my dear friends, p under negation q. First one you calculate p under negation q. This is false, true, false, false, right? Or this is first one, q is second one, and r is negation p and q. Negation p and q, here and you apply false, false, true and true. This is false because true and false is false. This is third one. He applied, you see friends, first or second or third. You just apply r in these three, my dear friends, first, second, third. You just apply r. R means this is true, so it is true. Here false, it is false. I can say this is one true is there, it is true, and this is true, false, true, true. At least one is, this is false. In all cases true, the last case is false. P R Q truth table also we know. First 3 cases true, then false. So clearly this is equivalent to this. In the same way, here also you can verify, my dear friends, you will observe that this is also true. So, both the statements are true, that is it. Write the truth table, it is very simple. Next, you see, given this equation is 2y is equal to x power y plus y power x, this is the question. Then the value of d square y by dx square by d square x by dy square. Are yaar, you try, I want to take the derivative both sides with respect to x, and hence what I do is, suppose f of x is x power y, you try to take its derivative by taking logarithm. Log f of x is nothing but y into log x. Now 1 by f of x into f dash x is equal to u derivative of v plus v derivative of u is y dash. So friends, f dash x is nothing but f of x, that means x power y into y by x plus log x into y dash, my dear friends. Okay. In the same way, you just find y power x derivative also you can find, my dear friends. You can just find y power x, and you can also do, my dear friends, here. So, at x is equal to 1 means, according to this, when x is 1, what is y? Y is also 1. And here also you can just find y power x derivative, and we just want here, you see, d square y by dx square, and we need to find, even suppose this is g of x, g dash x also you find. For example, so g of x is equal to y power x. So take derivative, my dear friends, log g of x is going to be x log y. So you just take its derivative, 1 by g of x into g dash x is equal to u derivative of v plus v derivative of u. So g dash x is nothing but, my dear friends, g of x, that is y power x into x by y plus log y. Now my dear friends, suppose you just take the derivative of these two together, 2y dash is equal to x power y derivative is f dash x plus g of x derivative is g dash x, you know what they are. Now you just find that x is equal to 1, put x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 1, here you are going to get, my dear friend, this is 0, this is 1, this is 1, this is 0, this is 1. So y dash at 1 is also 1 is the next observation. Next, my dear friends, here you want d square y by dx square and d square x by dx square. If at all you want this, my dear friends, dx by dy you can write like 1 by dy by dx, right. Now you want its derivative again with respect to y, right. So dx by dy is, that is dx by dy's derivative with respect to y, can I write it as d by dx of this 1 by dy by dx into dx by dy, I can write, right. So my dear friend, this is minus 1 by x square, that is minus 1 by dy by dx whole square into its derivative with respect to x is d square y by dx square into dx by dy. I just want this value at x is equal to 1. So put x is equal to 1, my dear friends, its value is going to be this expression by this expression, you try to find, this is 1, this is 1, because we have already proved this is 1, minus 1 is this expression, so this reciprocal is minus 1, so you got this is alpha and minus 1, its modulus he is asking, so 1 is the answer, my dear friends, 1 is the answer, right. Next, you just see the projection of the point p bar. Suppose friends, this is the point p bar, its projection over some plane whose normal vector is n bar is going to be, you can say, s bar. So my dear friends, why don't you take x bar minus p bar, since it is projection, this vector is perpendicular to the plane, since this is the vector plane equation in normal form, n bar is normal to the plane, so these two must be, I can say, definitely parallel. So one vector is, if they are parallel, this vector is some lambda into n bar. So we can write, my dear friends, given r bar dot n bar is equal to q, why don't you substitute here, you see, s bar is equal to p bar plus lambda into n bar. But here s bar is a point in the plane, so it must satisfy this equation. So p bar plus lambda n bar dot n bar is equal to q. So p bar dot n bar plus lambda n bar dot n bar, that is magnitude of n bar square, is equal to q. We just want lambda here. Lambda is going to be q minus p bar dot n bar by magnitude of n bar square. This is lambda value, right? Once you know lambda value, my dear friends, you come back to this, you come substitute here, s bar is equal to p bar plus, you see s bar is equal to p bar plus this into n bar. Option 2 is the right answer. That's it, simple. Next, my dear friends, the perpendicular distance of corner of a unit cube on a diagonal not passing through it. You just take a cube, my dear friends. This is a cube. You can just take, you know, you can give the vertices. Suppose this is 0, 0, 0. Suppose this is xy plane, my dear friends. This corner is going to be say 1, 1, 1. This diagonal let us take, and let us assume this point is, you can say x, y, z plane it is, that means z axis, you can take like 0, 0, 1 it is. So this diagonal I have taken, I have chosen a corner which is not there on the diagonal, fine, because the perpendicular distance of a corner of a unit cube on a diagonal. You see, my dear friends, how to find perpendicular distance from point to a line? You just try to take a general point on the line. This line's DRs are 1, 1, 1. So the general point on this can be taken as T, T, T. So this is, suppose this is M, OM bar DRs, T, T, T minus 1, right? Yes. So in this is the case, these are the DRs of this, but this particular line DRs are 1, 1, 1. And hence they must be perpendicular, the dot product is 0, t plus t minus 1 is equal to 0, 3t is equal to 1, t is equal to 1 by 2, my dear friends. So I can say this point is 1 by 2, 1 by 3. So 1 by 3, 1 by 3, and which is going to be 1 by 3. This is the point. Now try to find the distance of this point to 0, 0, 1. Square root of 1 by 9 plus 1 by 9 plus 4 by 9, because 2 by 3, 0, 0, 1, which is root of 6 by 9, we can say root 6 by 3. Root 6 by 3 is the answer. Simple calculation related to 3D geometry. Next, my dear friends, you see it is like, why don't you take a vector, suppose some x bar like root of a square minus 4 I cap plus second one is a j cap plus root of a square plus 4 into k cap. This is x bar. Y bar, why don't you take like tan a I cap plus tan b j cap plus tan c k cap, right? So my dear friends, we know that, so x bar dot y bar, the dot product is always less than or equal to magnitude of x bar into magnitude of y bar, okay, Cauchy's class inequality. So x bar dot y bar, the dot product is nothing but the expression given here, which is the dot product of these two is nothing but 6a less than or equal to magnitude of x bar is square root of its square plus a square plus a square plus 4. You are going to get, my dear friends, 3a square. This is root of, yeah, a square plus 4 plus a square plus a square plus 4 will become 3a square. To magnitude of b is, this is root of, in fact, tan square a plus tan square b plus tan square c, my dear friends. Here also this is tan square a, tan square b, tan square c it is, okay, typo error it is. So my dear friends, you just square on both sides, 36a square less than or equal to 3a square into required expression, so which is 12 times. So required expression is greater than or equal to 12, so its least value is going to be 12. That's it. Next, my dear friends, you see the minimum value of a, so that the ray represented by argument of z is equal to pi by 6 meets the circle. Here it represents a circle with center 0, 2 root 3 and radius is a. This is the circle, my dear friends, and argument of z pi by 6 represents a ray which makes an angle pi by 6 with positive x axis. I can say it is a part of a line y is equal to slope tan 30 degrees is 1 by root 3 into x, that is x minus root 3 y equal to 0 is this line, and this is the point. Now this is to be tangent in the sense it meets this, then he is asking the minimum value of a, so that the ray represented by this meets the circle. So my dear friends, in this case perpendicular, when it touches, perpendicular distance is equal to radius, right. What is perpendicular distance? 2 root 3 into minus root 3 is going to be 6 by root of a square plus b square. This perpendicular distance is equal to radius of the circle is a. We can say a is equal to 6 by 2, which is 3, my dear friends. That is all, a is equal to 3. That is it. Next question. This question you see, my dear friends, n times fractional part of x is equal to, this x you can write step x plus fractional part of x plus step x. This is what he has given. This is n greater than 1 is other information. N fractional part of x is step x plus fractional part of x plus fractional part of x. You just bring fractional part of x this side, n minus 1 into fractional part of x is step x. You know, my dear friends, fractional part of x you can write like, of course 2 step x, 2 step x by n minus 1. Of course fractional part of x is always greater than or equal to 0 but less than 1. So 2 step x is 2 step x by n minus 1 must be between 0 to 1, and hence here, my dear friends, n greater than 1. So this is positive, 0 less than or equal to 2 step x less than n minus 1. So he said n is equal to what? He is asking if it is having exactly 5 distinct solutions. You just give the options. If you put n is equal to 10, my dear friends, you just take 0 less than or equal to 2 step x, or you can write 0 less than or equal to step x less than n minus 1 by 2. You put n is equal to 10, 10 minus 1 by 2 is 9 by 2, 4.5. Step x can be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It will have only 5 solutions. Even for 11 also it is correct, whereas others you won't get. So this is the answer, my dear friends. Next, you see this integral you can comfortably write like integral x plus 1 into root x plus 2, you multiply in the numerator and denominator, so that this becomes root of x square minus 4 dx. Now my dear friends, this is x square plus 3x plus 2. Why don't you write it like x square plus 4? So plus 2, no, minus 4 I have written, so that I can write plus 6x, and you are left with 3x. You see, this is going to be 3x, but x square minus 4 derivative is 2x, right? 2x, so why don't I write 3 by 2 into 2x by root of x square minus 4. You see, my dear friends, you can now split like root of x square minus 4 plus 3 by 2 into f dash x by root of x plus 6 by root of x square minus 4 dx, my dear friends. We know every integral is the standard quadratic, x by 2 into given function plus a square by 2 into sin inverse x by a, and this is 3 by 2 into f dash x by root of x will become 2 root of x. That is exclusively we have formula. So in terms of cos h inverse, you just find, my dear friends, you are going to get, so option going to be maybe option 2. Just check and you will be getting right. Okay, that's all. Here you can see, my dear friends, f of x is given like when x greater than 0, this is the expression, and when x is equal to 1, it is going to be 1. Okay, yeah, then when this is going to be 1, I can say, my dear friend, this particular function he is talking about the continuity at x is equal to 1. One thing I can say, my dear friends, f of x, suppose slightly less than 1 case I am talking about, slightly 1 less than. 1 less than when x is and n tends to infinity, this is limit n tends to infinity, when x is slightly less than 1, power infinity goes to 0, this also goes to 0, 0 minus 0, 0 by, you are going to get like this is numerator is 0, slightly by it is also 0, and you can say, my dear friends, as this is going to be, we can say, you can also take x power n common, otherwise this is going to be, my dear friends, this is one case and you have to check at x is equal to 1 and x greater than 1. Suppose x greater than 1 case, you can observe that something data is missing here. If x greater than 1 is there, this is tending to infinity, you divide with x power n, you will get 1 minus sine of x power n by x power n by 1 plus sine of x power n by x power n. As x is more than 1, x power n tends to infinity, finite number by infinity goes to 0, this also goes to 0, it is going to be 1, my dear friends. And at x is equal to 1, it is given something, and when slightly less than 1, my dear friends, this almost goes to 0, like it will be like t minus sin t by t plus sin t, where t tends to 0, my dear friends. So you can say like its derivative is 1 minus cos t by 1 plus cos t, as t tends to 0, 0 by 2, this goes to 0, my dear friends, and hence undoubtedly this is discontinuous, it will have jump discontinuity, as left hand limit and right hand limit are different, the graph jumps, so we call it as jump discontinuity, right. Next friends, the first term of a GP of real numbers given by B1, B2, B3 and so on is unity. First term is 1, suppose the common ratio is r, this is r square, r cube and so on. Now 4b2 plus 5b3 minimum value. Second term, b2 means second term is r, 4r plus 5, b3 means third term 5r square. Its minimum value. Arey yaar, it's a quadratic expression. Quadratic expression's minimum value upper parabola it is. So 4ac minus b square by 4a, which is 4ac is 0 minus b square is 16 by 4a is 5, which is minus 4 by 5, my dear friends. That's all. Next, you see it's a standard question, given 2x is equal to y power 1 by 5 plus y power minus 1 by 5, I want some differential relation, that means in differential equation need to be formed, we can say kind of, even it is not differential equation because no parameter, but we need to establish some relation connecting first derivative and second derivative. For easy convenience, you can take like y power 1 by 5 as t, this is t plus 1 by t, so you will get t square minus 2xt plus 1 equal to 0, t is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a, which is x plus or minus root of x square minus 1. You can take one of them, t means y power 1 by 5, so y is nothing but friends, you can take x plus root of x square minus 1, or you can take like power 5, you can take y power 1 by 5 or its power 5, right. Now you just take its derivative friends, y dash. So n into x to the power of n minus 1 into its derivative 1 plus root x 1 by 2 root x into 2x you are going to get. This gets cancelled, my dear friends. You will get y dash is y into this power 4 into x into you will get again x plus root of x square minus 1 by root of x square minus 1 you are going to get. And hence, my dear friends, you will get root of x square minus 1 into y dash is equal to 5y. So y dash is 5y by root of x square minus 1. You repeat the same, again you take the derivative and simplify, you are going to get the same expression like x square minus 1 into this, here k you will get 25, that is it. Again you take the derivative and replace y dash as 5y by root of x square minus 1, you are going to get it is 25, right. Next friends, you see mod x less than 1, I said mod x less than 1 means x belongs to minus 1 less than x less than 1, and mod x minus 1 greater than or equal to 1 in the sense 1 minus 1 0, that is x less than 0 less than or equal to 0 and x greater than or equal to 2. Solve the simple modulus inequations. A union B represent on the number line, my dear friends, minus 1, 1, 0, 2. First one is saying minus 1 to 1 open interval, second one is less than or equal to 0 this side and greater than or equal to 2 this side. So now the union of these is all real numbers except closed one to open 2. This part is missing. So that's what he said r minus d. D is going to be closed one to open 2. Second option is the right answer. Next friends, suppose xy such that xy belongs to n and some relation is given where n is set of all natural number, then the relation r is. Very clear friends, this is going to be y square minus 3xy plus 2x square equal to 0. So, simply for reflexive relation put y is equal to x, y square minus 3x square plus 2x square is 0, which is true for all x, my dear friends. That means every ordered pair xx satisfies, so it is reflexive undoubtedly. Symmetric may not be, because you just try to establish, my dear friends, you see this is y minus x into, you can say y minus 2x equal to 0. If x y are related, either y is equal to x should happen or y is equal to 2x must happen. That means friends, 1 comma 2 satisfies this relation, but 2 comma 1 will not satisfy, because neither 2 is equal to 1 or neither 2 is equal to, you say 1 is equal to 2 into 2, and hence symmetry fails. Reflexive okay, symmetry fails because of the ordered pair 1 comma 2. Transitive also we can show 1 comma 2 satisfies because y is equal to 2x, 2 comma 4 also satisfies because y is equal to 2x. Now 1 comma 4 does not satisfy because neither 1 is equal to 4 nor 4 is equal to 1 into 2. So transitivity also fails, it is just reflexive but neither symmetric nor transitive, my dear friends. Next, the sum of the roots of the equation is equal to, suppose this is a quadratic equation, my dear friends, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So sum of the roots alpha plus beta, the sum of the reciprocals of their squares, that is 1 by alpha square plus 1 by beta square, which is alpha plus beta is alpha square plus beta square by alpha beta whole square, which is, my dear friends, minus b by a is equal to, this is b square minus 2ac by a square, this is c square by a square, my dear friends. From this you will get minus bc square is equal to ab square minus 2a square c. So friends, I can say 2a square c is ab square plus bc square. So friends, I can say ab square, a square, bc square are in AP. Now ABC, if they are not equal to 0, divide with ABC, you will get b by c, this is a by b, this is c by a, will be in AP, because to an AP if you divide with the same number, the result will be in AP itself. Now the reciprocals are asked, see c by b, b by a by c, of course in reverse order they are given, but still they will be in HP. Since these are in AP, c by b, b by a by c are in HP. If you read in either order it is fine, so they are in HP. Next friends, you see the 10th term of this particular binomial expression, first you try to simplify this, root of 17 by 4 plus 3 root 2, we can take like root of 17 plus 12 root 2 by 4, which is friends root of 17 plus 2 into, this is 72 by 4. I think you can write 9 into 8, 9 plus 8, this is root of root 9 plus root 8 whole square by 4. Finally we are going to get this as root 9, that is 3 plus 2 root 2 by 4, which is, my dear friends, 3 by 4. This is going to be, yeah, root 9 plus root 8 by 2, in fact by 2, because after square root it is 2, right. So this is going to be 3 by 2, we can say plus root 2. Now consider this expression 3 minus 3 by 2 minus root 2 whole power 20, which is 3 by 2 minus root 2 whole power 20. This is the expression. I want 10th term, that is 20c9 into 3 by 2 power 11 into minus root 2 power 9. So irrational number power odd number is there, so it will be irrational number only, root 2 will be there. Next friends, we can say ABCD is a trapezium such that AB and CD are parallel and BC is perpendicular to CD. You see, my dear friends, the trapezium will be of this kind. We can say ABCD is a trapezium such that we can say AB and CD are parallel and BC is perpendicular to CD. Fine. Right. If angle ADB is theta, now I want, and BC length is given as P and CD length is given as Q. So it is a right angle triangle, let it be alpha, my dear friends. Since these two are parallel lines, by transversal it is also alpha. I can say in this triangle pi minus of theta plus alpha. I just want AB length in terms of PQ and theta and all. So why don't I apply sine rule? My dear friends, AB by sine theta. In which triangle, friends? Triangle DAB triangle. Sine rule, AB by sine theta is equal to, you see, this is going to be BD by, we can say, sine of pi minus theta plus alpha. Pi minus of theta plus alpha, which is, my dear friends, AB by sine theta is equal to BD is nothing but simple root of P square plus Q square by this is sine of theta plus alpha. So now you can simply say AB is nothing but root of P square plus Q square into sine theta by, you see, this is sine theta cos alpha is Q by root of P square plus Q square plus cos theta sin alpha is P by root of P square plus Q square. Now you just simplify, this becomes P square plus Q square into sin theta by, you see, P cos theta plus Q sin theta. This is going to be, this is the answer. That's it. Next, my dear friends, the exhaustive range of values of theta in the interval 0 to pi such that first point and second point lie on the same side of the line. If 2 points lie same side of the line, L11 into L22 positive. If you substitute 3 comma 5 in this, 3 plus 5 minus 1 positive. So if you substitute this point also, you have to get same positive. That is, my dear friends, root 3 sin theta plus cos theta minus 1 must be positive. So you just divide with 2, root 3 by 2 sin theta plus 1 by 2 cos theta is greater than 1 by 2. You can write this is sin of theta plus pi by 6 is greater than 1 by 2. You see, my dear friends, sine curve, if you take 0 to pi greater than 1 by 2 means this theta plus pi by 6 must be more than 30 degrees and less than 150 degrees. Yes, 150 degrees. You just subtract pi by 6, 0 to, we can say 150 minus 30 is 120. So the answer is going to be 0 to 2 pi by 3. That's all. Okay, friends. Next, you see, coming to numerical answer type questions, 12 identical balls are to be placed in 3 identical boxes. Then the probability that one of the boxes contains exactly 3 balls. Suppose, friends, there are 3 identical boxes. Suppose if a particular ball is thrown into the box, yes, into the box, what is the probability that it goes in a particular box? 1 by 3. If I throw into this, it has to go into this or this or this. What is the probability that it goes in a particular box? 1 by 3. Let me call it as success. So automatically failure is 2 by 3. Now I am trying 12 balls into this, right? 12 balls are thrown into this. What is the chance that it takes exactly 3? That means 3 balls means 3 successes I have to take. That means number of trials is 12 and I want P of x is equal to 3, my dear friends. So 12C3 into Q to the power of 12 minus 3 into P to the power of 3. You just simplify this, you just compare with this, my dear friends, you are going to get lambda is equal to 3. That's it. Next, you see a pair of tangents enclosing an angle 60 degrees, this is, are drawn to the unit circle. This is a unit circle. A pair of tangents are drawn to this where this angle is 60 degrees means here 30 degrees this part, then here it is going to be 90 degrees, automatically here 60 degrees, right. Now my dear friends, the area enclosed by the tangents and the minor arc, that means he is expecting this area and this area together. It's very simple, friends. This area, if you want right angle triangle area, he has given unit circle radius 1, so hypotenuse is 2, this is going to be root 3. Area of this right angle triangle is half into base into height minus this arc, this is a sector with 30 degrees means pi r square is the total circle area, 60 degrees means 1/6 of this, right. So, which is root 3 by 2 minus pi by 6 is area of the above part. So, double of this I need to take, which is friends root 3 minus pi by 3. This he has given like root lambda minus pi by k, lambda is 3, k is 3, their sum is 6, my dear friends. Okay. Next, you see a square of unit area, S is a square of unit area, my dear friends. Then consider any quadrilateral which has one vertex on each side. Suppose you take this, this. Suppose say this length is x, means unit area means side is x. This is y, 1 minus y, z, 1 minus z, L, 1 minus L. I have taken some quadrilateral. So, whose sides are going to be? He say A, B, C, D. He is asking about a square plus b square plus c square plus d square. In fact, my dear friends, a square is nothing but x square plus 1 minus x whole square. Y square is, you see, b square is nothing but y square plus 1 minus y whole square, this b square. Similarly, c square is z square plus 1 minus z whole square plus d square is L square plus 1 minus L whole square, right. This expression's range he is asking about. Friends, we know this expression of this kind, which is, you see, this is 2x square minus 2x plus 1, which is upper parabola. It will have minimum value 4ac minus b square by 4a, which is, my dear friends, 1 by 2. So, this expression's minimum value 1 by 2, as the 4 variables are independent, minimum 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 4 times 1 by 2, which is 2 is the minimum value. And maximum, this expression's maximum value undoubtedly when x is 0 is meaningless, or x is 0 or x is 1 I can say. In that case, you are going to get here 1, 1, 1, 1. When x is 1 or 0, you will get maximum value, that is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, 4 times, b is going to be 4, a plus b is going to be 6, my dear friends. Next, this is simple. Sigma, pi stands for product. This is, yeah, I can say r cube minus 8 by r cube plus 8. This I think this is sigma, this is limit n tends to infinity. I can say pi stands for product, r is equal to, we can say 3 to or 4, I can say 4 to maybe n. This is, I can say, r plus 3 by r minus 3 into r cube minus 8 by r cube plus 8. So, if you just cancel, my dear friends, I can say like, or you need to arrange these, my dear friends, this particular part you need to arrange. So, you see r by r minus 3 maybe this is going to be, I think this may be r here. If this is r by, based on the question we need to proceed, my dear friends. Here you just do, I will tell you one thing, I will guide you how to do. So, suppose this is r by r minus 3, product of two things you can just separate, my dear friends. This you can write like r by r minus 3 means you will get 4 by 1 into 5 by 2 into, this is 6 by 3 into 7 by 4 into 8 by 5 into, in the last case you will get n by n minus 3 like this. You see, after third term we got getting cancelled. 3 terms if you get cancelled here, here also you need to take 3 terms here, n minus 1, n minus 2, accordingly you have to take. So, if 4 are left, I do not remember what is given here, some terms will be there. If I assume it is like this, in that case you will be left here, right. So, first bracket is done. The second one, this part you can write again product, this is r minus 2 by r plus 2, it is going to be, you can write, this is r minus 2 by r plus 2 into, I guess this problem, one second, maybe the problem will be like this. This is limit n tends to infinity, product r is equal to 3 to infinity, 3 to n, r cube minus 8 by r cube plus 8. The problem would be like this, there is typo error in this. Here pi stands for product symbol, like sigma is the symbol for summation. You can write, my dear friends, limit n tends to infinity, you can write pi r is equal to 3 to n, r minus 2 into, you can write like r square plus, you can say ab, that is 2r plus b square is 4 by this is r plus 2 into, you can write r square minus 2r plus 4, right. So, my dear friends, here this is this product, if you just take, my dear friends, only this product, when you put r is equal to 3, you will get 1 by 5 it is into 2 by next one 2 by 6, 3 by 7, 4 by 8, 5 by 9 and so on. You see, after this 5 started here, that is 6 by 10 and so on. So, since this 5, this 6 gets cancelled, you are left with 4 terms. So, there will be a situation where when you put r is equal to n, you will get n plus 2 here, n minus 2, next n plus 1, n minus, it is going to be n minus 1, like this. Here also 4 will be left. So, this is going to be 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 by n plus 2 into n plus 1 into n into n minus 1 about the first factor. This is such an expression. In this expression, if you put r is equal to r minus 1, you see what happens? R minus 1 whole square is r square minus 2r plus 1 plus 2r minus 2 plus 4. You just see, you are going to get, yeah, if you put r is equal to r minus 1, r square minus 2r plus 1, it is going to be, I can say, my dear friends, here 4 are there. That means, if you cannot split here in terms of r minus 1, you can also do one thing. If you put r is equal to 3, here I can say like, you put r is equal to 3, what will you get? 9 plus 6, which is 15 plus 4, 19. This is r is equal to 3, when you put 9 plus 6, that is 19, r is equal to 3, 3 plus 4 is 7. Then put r is equal to 4, you are going to get 16 plus 8 plus 4, which is going to be, I can say 28 by, you will get here r is equal to 4, 16 minus 8 plus 4, you are going to get 12 here. Next, r is equal to 3, you are going to get here 3 square 9, this is going to be minus 6 plus 4, which is going to be, my dear friends, r is equal to 3, 4, 5, next one. 5 means 25 minus 10 plus 4, 19 you will get here. That means same started. That means here 2 terms you will be there. This 19, this 28 gets cancelled. So, that means as you are left 2 here, you will be left with 2 terms here. That means when you put n is equal to 1, you will get here, I can say, my dear friends, this part, let me tell you what we are going to get. Yeah, this part you are going to get like, you see, n square plus 2n plus 4 here, put n is equal to n minus 1 before 1, that is n square, this is n minus 1 whole square plus 2 into n minus 1 plus 4. These 2 will be left in the numerator, here 7 into 12 will be left. Now, this is going to be 12, 12 got cancelled, 2 by 7. Here as n tends to infinity, it is degree 4 expression, leading coefficient same. So, finally, you are going to get the answer to be 2 by 7, my dear friends. K value is going to be 2, that is it. Next, my dear friends, the number of points on the rectangle mod x less than or equal to 2, mod y less than or equal to 3, which lies on the curve y is equal to x plus sin x, and at which the tangent to the curve is parallel to x axis. So, what about the tangent slope, my dear friends? Y dash is 1 plus cos x. This should be, tangent should be parallel to x axis, means this must be 0. That means cos x must be minus 1. Cos x minus 1 means x must be odd multiple of pi. That means x is like pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, like this, of course minus pi, minus 3 pi also. He said mod x less than or equal to 12 means x can be taken like pi 3 pi, of course minus pi, minus 3 pi. 5 pi is invalid, and mod y must be less than or equal to 3. So, when x is pi, you just see the points, my dear friends. When x is pi, what is y? It is going to be pi plus 0. So, pi comma pi is 1 point. If you put 3 pi, it is going to be 3 pi comma 3 pi is 1 point. but mod y less than or equal to 3 means how? Impossible, impossible. So, no such points, so no rectangle, so we can say the number of such points is going to be 0. Okay. Next, you see functional relation is given A less than C less than B are in AP. So, friends, what I do is replace in this functional relation x by x minus A. So, that replace x by x minus A, so that f of x plus f of x plus B minus A is equal to f of x plus C minus A. These are in AP. C minus A is common difference D and B minus A is going to be double the common difference. So, it is like f of x plus f of x plus 2D is equal to f of x plus D it is, where D is the common difference of the AP. Now, you replace x by x plus D in this relation, so that f of x plus D plus this is x plus 3D is equal to f of x plus 2D. You just add these two, my dear friends, these two get cancelled, these two get cancelled, you will get f of x plus f of x plus 3D is equal to 0. So, from this, my dear friends, we can say, so such relation gives the period is to be double of this number, 3D double is 6D, because you can replace x by x plus 3D, so that f of x plus 3D plus f of x plus 6D is equal to 0. You just subtract, my dear friends, you will get f of x is equal to f of x plus 6D. I can say that the period of this particular function is 6D. He is saying lambda into b minus a. B minus a is already 2D, so lambda must be 3, my dear friends. Okay. Next, I can say this integral 0 to 1 minus x power 50 whole power 100 is, I can say I1 it is, so I2 it is. So, I want I2 is m by n into I1. You just take I2, my dear friends, integral 0 to 1 minus x power 50 whole power 100 into 1 minus x power 50 you separate, my dear friends. Now, you just multiply this with 1 minus this with x power 50. This with 1 it is nothing but I1, my dear friends, I1 minus integral 0 to 1 minus x power 50 whole power 100 into x power 50 I try to write like x power 49 into x dx, because I want to apply by parts. Its derivative is 50 x power 49, introduce 50 also, you treat this as g of x, this is f of x, by parts you apply 1 by 50 into, you see, my dear friends, f of x into integral g of x. If you take this as t, of course you put minus also here, t power 100, if you take its derivative minus 50 x power 49, t power 100, that is t power 101 by 101 is the integral, and you need to apply the limits 0 to 1 minus integral 0 to 1, my dear friends, I made it plus here into 0 to 1, f dash x is 1 into the same, this you are going to get, my dear friends, which is going to be 1, this integral 1 minus x power 50 whole power 101 by 101 dx. So, my dear friends, I2 you can say this is I2 is equal to I1. If you apply these limits here, 0 you will get, plus 1 by 50 into minus is there, this becomes minus. Can I say this is 1 by 101, it is 101 into, this is going to be again 101 in the sense I2, my dear friends, which is 5050 it is. So, 1 plus 1 by 5050 into I2 is equal to, I can say I1. So, I2 is equal to 5050 by 5051 into I1. He said it is m by n. Okay. Then the sum of the digits in m plus n, it is 10,101, my dear friends. Sum of the digits in m plus n is 3. Okay. Next, the system of linear equations, this has non-trivial solution ABC. Our homogeneous system of equations has non-trivial solutions in the sense that det 1 2a, then 1 3b b, so 1 4c c, this det is equal to 0. If you expand this, you will observe that A, B, C will be in, you will get in HP. That means you will get like B is equal to 2AC by A plus C you are going to get. B is equal to 2AC by A plus C. Now my dear friends, we know that you just apply AM GM inequality for A cube plus C cube. Arithmetic mean greater than or equal to geometric mean root of A cube C cube. That is, I can say root of AC whole cube. But my dear friends, geometric mean we know that 2AC by A plus C, harmonic mean is always less than or equal to geometric mean root AC, my dear friends, which is equal to B here. So B less than or equal to root AC, I can say, so B square less than or equal to AC here. So I can say friends, AC is greater than or equal to B square, you can put B square under root, this becomes B square whole cube under root, which becomes B cube, my dear friends. So A cube plus C cube by B cube is greater than or equal to 2. That's all. Next, this matrix you can observe that AB is equal to I, and you are going to get CR. CR matrix trace. This is R into 3 power R plus R minus 1 into 3 power R, which is 2R minus 1 into 3 power R. It is, my dear friends. Yes. Now we want sigma of this R is equal to 1 to 50. Sigma R is equal to 1 to 50, we can say 2R minus 1 into 3 power R. Clearly it is an AGP. How to find the sum, my dear friends? R is equal to 1, you will put 1 into 3 plus 3 into 3 square plus 5 into 3 cube plus 7 into 3 power 5 and so on. 50 means this is 99 into 3 power 50. You just write S on the same and you just write S, multiply with 3S. This becomes 1 into 3 square, 3 into 3 cube and so on. This is 97 into 3 power 50 plus 99 into 3 power 51. Arey yaar, you just subtract, you are going to get here, this is 3, A you will get, you can say like 49 into B 3 power 51 you are going to get. So A minus B is going to be 2, you are going to get. Just simplify, you just subtract, you will get 3 plus, it is a GP, my dear friends. This is minus 99 3 power 50. If you subtract, you are going to get 2 into 3 square, 2 into 3 cube and so on, 2 into 3 power 50. You just take 2 common, it is sum of some 49 terms of a GP, you just apply the formula, you will get this, right. Next, my dear friends, 4 normals are drawn. Arey yaar, you can take, there is a general result on the rectangular hyperbola xy is equal to c square. You can just prepare the normal, co-normal points related results. If a particular point, say Ct comma c by t, if you take the point, if you prepare the normal equation in x and y, you will get degree 4 equation. You can observe that sum of the roots, you see, you will get x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 is going to be the x coordinate 1, y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus y4, you will get the y coordinate 3, and x1, x2, x3, x4 product of x coordinates is going to be minus c square, right. That is c is here 8 minus c power 4, that is 8 power 4, that is c is root 8, 8 square you are going to get, 8 square, because 8 itself c square. Similarly y1, y2, y3, y4 is going to be minus 8 square. Now my dear friends, you just substitute this, this is going to be up to here, this is 1 plus 3 4, the rest of 2 gets cancelled. So he is asking sum of these 4, my dear friends, and here this plus this minus of this, so 4 is the answer. This is all about the co-normal points on the rectangular hyperbola xy is equal to c square. So you can prepare a normal equation passing through 1 comma 3, you just observe sum of the roots, product of the roots in terms of x as well as y, right, because yeah. So that's all, my dear friends. In a nutshell, the paper is a moderate paper. Hope you have done well. All the best.